Hi there, welcome to Joshi'ing Around Weekly, a podcast in which we will discuss the most important shows, the best matches, and the hottest topics in Japanese women's pro wrestling on a weekly basis. I'm Tim.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome to the show. Hello everyone to the third episode of Joshi'ing Around Weekly. We are recording on September 24th, 2025. We delayed our recording for a day this week because we wanted to talk about the Sendai Girls show, and it turned out that it was a wise decision to do because we then also had the chance to check out the Stardom show in Osaka as well, which was pretty great. Our topics for this week are gonna be a big news section about Mirai leaving. Then we're gonna cover the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestle Princess 6 show from September 20th. After that, we're gonna go through the Sendai Girls big show from September 23rd. Then we're gonna cover the aforementioned Stardom show in Osaka from September 23rd as well. Then we're gonna have the Indie Zone, where Eric is going to lead us through shows from Marigold, Marvelous, Seedling, and Ice Ribbon. Then we're going to have our little Match of the Week section and the previews for next week. So, hi Eric, how are you doing this week?
Hello, I'm exhausted actually. I've watched so much wrestling. It's always the weeks where Japan has a holiday. It's so difficult to watch everything and to catch up, so I've just been watching wrestling non-stop, especially because I was at work all yesterday, so I had like 10 shows to watch from all the different promotions.
Oh my god. And the AW had a big show as well. That's
over the weekend, all out as well. Yeah, because
did you watch it?
I committed like 5 hours to it, and I was like, I've got a big backlog of stuff to catch up on, but I was like, I can't miss an AEW pay-per-view, so, but yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, maybe we can cut back on. I think you really want to watch those shows, right?
Yeah. I like watching them. That's not the problem. I just wish there was more time in the world. And obviously, I can't watch them during work. That's just impossible. I wouldn't even be focusing on them because I work from home. But watching wrestling is futile. I will not remember anything that happened. So also because I'm writing about a lot of them in the Social Suplex newsletter, that means I have to kind of focus on them because I have to say something about them. So it just makes it a bit difficult when there's so much wrestling on the holidays.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem as well. Currently, I have to be in the office a lot, like almost daily. So I used to be able to watch a lot more wrestling when I was at home. I used to watch a lot in the home office. I didn't really mind that, even if I didn't see everything all the time because I wasn't focused on wrestling, but I just I didn't have to write about it either. So
yeah, how many days? But how many days in the office are you?
Currently, almost pretty much 5 days a week.
Holy shit!
It's pretty
I could never do that.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. It's also I wouldn't technically need to do that, but my chefs, my bosses are a bit they've become very weird about home office, and it's time to look for something new for me as well.
Yeah, if my boss tried to impose that, I would 100% resign on the spot. I do 1 day a week, and he was thinking about 2 or 3, and I'm like, you don't want to do 2 or 3 because I work in a really small company as well with 4 people as well. So I'm so I don't think there's a need to go in 5 days a week. I don't think any. Which companies or industries need to do that? Obviously, if you're doing something physical, right? In a warehouse or whatever. But I'm talking if your job is behind a desk, what's the reason to go in except important meetings maybe it's useful for?
Yeah. That used to be the rule used to be we get 2 days home office per week.
Yeah.
And that's already a lot more stringent than you got it with 4 home office days essentially. But yeah, now it's really they cut really back on that. And yeah, I've been thinking about resigning ever since for sure. So yeah,
well, it's always a bit be happy.
Tough. Huh?
You got to be happy. So
yeah, it's a bit tough, like to really find something in my field, right. I guess. And like I just hear a lot of horror stories from other agencies just as well. Like it sounds worse in other agencies than in mine, actually. Even though I don't really have much home office anymore, so I kind of shied back from a lot of them that I wanted to send an application to. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, and it's always like I got this big, like right now everything is about getting to Tokyo in December. Yeah. And when that big vacation is over, I'm going to try to look for something new. But before then, it's not really possible to find something new anyway. Because like over here, you have like a 6-month like period at the start, like kind of like a test period. I don't know if you guys have that as well.
Yeah, like probation. Yeah.
Probation, yeah. And yeah, that can't get in the way of my like Japan trip. So
yeah, got to prioritize that Stardom show.
Absolutely. I can't wait for Japan, man. I'm thinking about it every day now. It's gonna be so good.
It's still surreal to me. Like I can't believe I'm doing it because it's my first time doing it. I think it's only gonna feel real when I'm on that plane. And also, I'm someone who loves like traveling and flying at night. I'm like a big night owl. That's why I don't know. You see me stay up quite late at night. So I'm really excited to just fly on. Over Christmas Eve. That's just an exciting thing for me. Just the flight itself, not even like being in Tokyo itself as well. So a lot of it is very exciting for me.
Yeah, that's cool. You're gonna love it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get into the? I got internet again, by the way. So.
Oh, that is good.
This week should go a bit better. I listened back to our podcast last week. We had quite a big delay towards the end of it, but.
I'm proud of us, though. We did a good job considering the circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. And it came out well, I think. Well enough, at least. Okay, should we get into our topics then?
Yeah, we've got so much to talk about.
Oh yeah, we should definitely like get to it. Right, our first big topic of the week is gonna be news. We got our first big news section, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because on the Marigold show from September 20th, Mirai announced her departure from the company. And we're going to talk about that isolated first. We're going to cover the Marigold show later. But first, we're just going to do these news. I'm just going to read her quote, what she said on the show. She said, credits to MIRAI Wrestling, by the way, on Twitter. They're terrific account to follow if you need translations for like most of the biggest Joshi companies. Anyway, so their translation for Mirai's monologue was: so I went into the recent Dreamstar Grand Prix with full determination. I couldn't achieve any results. So I took some time to reflect on myself, and I found my answer. Mirai will be leaving Marigold on October 13th. You know, from my last promotion, Rossi Ogawa took such great care of me. I wanted to follow Rossi Ogawa, so I came to Marigold, and I was able to have the homecoming match I always said I wanted to do. And I was also allowed to teach wrestling classes, and I was placed on many different cards. I also met such wonderful teammates and such wonderful fans, but after reflecting on myself, I realized that while I relied on Rossi Ogawa until now, I want to test my own strength without that support. Mirai is leaving the nest from Rossi Ogawa. Right. What? So her last match is gonna be on the Kurikan Hall show on October 13th. She's gonna team with Mai Sakurai against one final match against Nagisa Nosaki and Chiaki. What a final pair of opponents, huh?
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, damn, Rossi's really mad at her. But I think part of the reason is they previously defended the titles against those two when they had them, her and Mai. Okay. So I think that's the reason, but yeah.
She probably just likes them backstage best or something.
Yeah.
What were your first thoughts when you heard about this?
My first thoughts were, I think that there's a lot of opportunity for Mirai. So I immediately thought about where she might be going, and what she might be doing. I didn't really think about what's going to happen to Marigold. So I think the Stardom roster was the first thing I thought about, because that's the obvious destination. But that roster is quite packed. While Mirai is like a standout in Marigold, it's hard to judge where she would be in the pecking order in Stardom, especially when they have a focus on elevating younger stars. We have a feature in the Social Suplex newsletter that's going to be coming out at some point this week, maybe next week, that Chris has pointed out like a lot of the elevation of younger stars during the 5-star. So Mirai might not fit as well into that roster, but I think she would like fare quite well as a freelancer. There are a few freelancers like her on the scene, like Hiroyu Matsumoto, Itsuki Aoki, but Mirai can go much harder, and given her experience in Stardom and Marigold, and the fact she has a lack of exposure in the indies, she can probably command like way more bookings as well. So I think there is an opportunity for her, and going back to Stardom might be a grass isn't greener sort of thing.
Yeah, I kind of do agree. I should also say that she had some more comments throughout the last week. You probably saw them too. Like it sounded like she also wants to test like, it sounded to me a lot more like she wants to do more freelance work and maybe even go overseas for a bit and like maybe do an excursion through the US. I don't know. She basically said she wants to test her wrestling, in places where she can't communicate with her language, I guess. So the only language is wrestling, I guess. So it sounds to me like she wants to test herself on the freelance.
So she gave an interview to Shupro in the issue that came out just yesterday that I went through and I translated, and she was not giving like any hints or answers like whatsoever. She was giving like kayfabe answers. She repeated about like flying away from the nest of Rossi Ogawa, so that's like her default kayfabe answer almost. But I think because she keeps repeating that, there might be like a hint of truth in that she wanted to like go her own way. She outright refused what she wanted to do when asked directly by the interviewer. She was asked, "Do you want to go back to TJPW or Stardom directly?" And she did actually reply saying, "Only if there's an opportunity." Of course, if there's an opportunity is what she said, which seems like a Tony Khan sort of non-answer. So yeah, I'll go if there's an opportunity. That could mean anything, like maybe. So I don't really know what she's going to do. And I think she's trying to keep her cards close to her chest on purpose. So I guess we'll find out after her last show on the 13th of October.
Right. I think one thing to keep in mind for her, like the few things you can read out of her, like exit interview or whatever you call it, is that she was not happy with her push, I think, in Marigold, is one thing that I read out of that. She also said, like, apparently Utami said that after Utami beat her in their world title match, Mirai told her that she's basically at rock bottom now. And and the way she was booked in the tournament now, she was unhappy with. I don't know if that is a consequence of her telling Rossi that she wanted to leave.
Because Rossi said that discussions had taken part over her departure like last year, and the timing only worked out. Only worked out now. So that means she's probably out of the door for quite a significant period of time, probably before even her red belt match with Utami. So I think that does explain her booking over the past several months. So it would have to be something last year that she might not have been happy about, and I don't know if she was there long enough to not be happy. I don't know.
I would still say it's dumb to book that way, just because like so many matches were meaningless in the end, towards the end of the star block.
That's what I said. Yeah. So even if she was leaving, the booking was still tragically bad. Yeah. You cannot book a boring final night for a round robin tournament. It doesn't matter if she's leaving. No one knew she was leaving. So you could have had her still in contention and having the fans root for her. So it doesn't even excuse that booking. It was just bad booking, objectively.
My thought is, if she wants to have a lot of success, like in kayfabe, if she wants to be booked strong, then I'm not sure if Stardom is the right place for her right now. I think they got they got their top of the card stacked. And I think they got their plans, and like I don't think they're gonna change their plans to like fit Mirai into the red belt scene or whatever. So
why would they? Like, when you've seen how they've like elevated someone like Rena, right? Like
Yes.
Rena's 18 now, and this was like her first major push, and she's killing it, right? Why would you need to recruit externally when you can promote people internally? That's always the preference. Like even if you're talking about non-wrestling in your industries, right, in the corporate world, like externally recruiting is kind of annoying. So if you can internally recruit a good candidate, it's better because you just know that they fit what you're looking for anyway. They've been part of the company for a while. It's always riskier to go with an external hire, and I think that does sort of apply in wrestling as well.
Yeah. What I will say, however, is that I wouldn't be sad for her to go to Stardom. I think there's a ton of sick-ass matches that she could have over there again, or new matches that she didn't have before. And what I think I don't really quite understand is like the stance that I'm seeing a lot of people who straight up just don't want her over there because of like a fear of something that hasn't happened yet, because like she might get pushed over someone else that might deserve a push better or whatever. We don't know any of that yet. She might just, I don't know, be in the mid card. She might get pushed together with other people who also deserve that. We don't know any of these things, and I'm not gonna get like scared of something that hasn't happened yet. If she comes in, it's gotta be great, I think.
Yeah, getting upset over hypotheticals is never my thing to do. I'd only get upset after it happens. But for Mirai specifically, I wouldn't even be upset if that happens. Okada has built a lot of good faith with me. Like, he's got a lot stored in the bank where I kind of trust him, well, or maybe Tam Nakano, whoever's booking. I kind of trust them to push people correctly because they've done so throughout the duration of their time since Ogawa left Stardom. So even if they were to push her, I would be down for that.
Absolutely, yeah. That's perfectly my my view on the things as well. And yeah, I loved Mirai when she was in Stardom. She was one of my favorites there, so I'd welcome her back anytime. I just don't know if she would be happy over there if she really wants to get pushed hard. Yeah, that's.
You know what? I wouldn't mind her doing a freelance type of run in Stardom, just like Saria is doing. She doesn't need to get mega pushed, but she can have like some of the matches that she wanted to have without being solely tied to Stardom full time. And then she could do a match in TJPW if she wants to go back there. She could do bookings in Diana or whatever, Seedlin, whatever she wants to do. So I think going as a freelancer, even if she does want matches in Stardom, is probably the best route. In terms of Marigold, that's it's just bad for Marigold, right? There's no good side to this.
Not really, no.
Because she's
one of their best workers, like
they're losing someone who had like legitimate red belt potential. That's one less person in their already small roster that they could have given a red belt reign to, and it's one less person in the upper mid card to put on great matches on big shows, which you could rely on Mirai for. I don't think there's like any other way to frame this than a loss of Marigold. But there's a tiny advantage in that now Marigold can sort of push their younger stars, because with that empty space created by Mirai leaving, well, guess who's going to grab that space? It's Yuzuki. I mean, she's challenging Mai Sakurai. Did you just say Chiaki? Don't do it, Tim. Don't push my buttons. Yuzuki, Seri Yamaoka, Komomo. Like, there's so many people that can fill up the void. So if it accelerates their pushes, that's obviously one advantage of Mirai leaving. But I think as a net, it's still negative.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Rossi said something like, it's just what happens in every promotion. Whenever like someone goes, new person comes in.
Exactly.
So I don't know if he maybe already has planned to sign someone else to fill up that spot again.
Well, he's pushed those people that I just mentioned, so he could just be doing that instead.
Maybe he meant that. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Can we touch on the last part? That is so stupid. That people suggesting she might turn heel and join Darkness Revolution. That is blowing my mind. All I'm going to say about that is people suggesting that did not clearly see Rhea Seto's heel turn. You know, if they put 1 millionth of the same creativity into Darkness Revolution that would be required to think of and then execute this work, then we would not be where we are today with the faction. This is not a work.
Wait.
They cannot come up with a work like this.
They think this is actually a heel turn and not her actually leaving.
Yes, they think that on October 13th...
I haven't heard of that before.
I read it in a few different places, so I'm not calling out specific people. I think this is just general sentiment that I've seen on social media. I think it's maybe because DR is her last match, so they think that an angle is going to happen after that match. Also, I was just in the middle of watching one of the house shows from, I think it was like Sunday, and Nagisa Nozaki is trying to recruit Mirai to Darkness Revolution, but I'm still at minus 50% levels that this is a work. Like, there's just no way.
That's not how. That would be very unusual for a Japanese company too. Like, such a dishonest, like, I don't think they would do that.
I don't know what I will do, but I will do something crazy if it is a work. You name it, I will lose any type of bet. There is just no way. I'm staking everything on that.
Yeah, me too. I don't think there's much of a chance. This is the kind of work that I've never really seen out of Japan. I can't think of it, at least. Right. Okay, yeah. That's basically everything I got on this. I refuse to not have a good time because something might go bad. For there's the possibility that I don't know really the arguments for her not to go to Stardom don't really vibe with me, but yeah, I would welcome her there any day. I don't think Tokyo Joshi Pro would be. Maybe Tokyo Joshi Pro would be interesting too, but I think that would almost be like.
I think it's a weird fit
at best.
It's a weird fit because Miyu is their ace now. Like, Watanabe is their ace for sure, which we'll talk about after. It would just feel weird for Mirai. She's not that type of wrestler, I think.
That is just what's in my head right now, though. Miyu Watanabe versus Mirai.
That would be a good fucking match. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a good match. I would want to see it, but again, she can do that. Maybe she can't do it. Well, she can do it as a freelancer. They bring in freelancers on big shows.
Yeah.
They bring in Ryu Mizunami, right? They brought in Matsumoto on Wrestle Princess, so she can come in and do a big show like a Korakuen Hall or Sumo Hall even for Grand Princess in 2026.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, either way, freelance or Stardom would both be fine with me.
Same.
Cool. Should we move on?
Let's do it.
Right. Next up, we have the big Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestle Princess 6 show from September 20th, which was the Saturday. Right. Let me open this up. The attendance was not that great, I guess. At Ota City General, it was 1,127, which is like, quite. It's okay for TJPW, I guess. Well, what do you think? When
their attendances have been around the average to below average level basically all year. They cut down on a lot of Korakuen Hall dates, although they've got like another one coming up, so they're ramping them up a bit. But they only did like one Korakuen Hall from February until August, I think, like 6 months. So I think they know their attendances are dropping a bit, and yeah, this is just another one of those. It's not terrible, but it's not good. Yeah,
I found here their last two Ota shows were one in March, one in July. The July one did 1,384. The March one did 1,212. So both of those were more successful than this one. What does that mean? I don't know. I always think like there's also factors like the summer being brutal and stuff like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I believe there are a lot of other shows going on.
Oh yeah, that's also right. Yeah, the holiday and all that. Right. So our first match, our opener, was the team of Mei Suruga and Uta Takami defeated Ren Konatsu and Suzume in 12:55. What did you think of the opener?
I thought it was fun. I mean, so Mei Suruga, they teamed and Uta Takami, they teamed before, I think, last year. So I think the story is basically Suruga is like a bad influence on Takami, who's like meant to be like innocent, and Suruga is like her whole shtick is that she's like a little annoying goblin. So I thought it was fun. So Mei and Suzumi had some really good moments as well, like wrestling wise. Yeah. There were a lot of cool rolling cradles while holding onto each other's legs. Just shit you'd expect from Mei, really, right? And Konatsu's a really solid rookie. I don't think she's like an above average rookie. She's just exactly what you'd expect out of TJPW rookie, if not a tiny bit better.
Right. I've not been very familiar with Konatsu yet. The main thing about this match to me is like Suzume and Mei Suruga, just two of my absolute favorites out there. So I was very happy to see them in a match together against each other. I loved that. I loved seeing that. I loved the interactions with them. So yeah, that filled my heart with joy, I guess.
Which commentary did you listen to?
English. No, Japanese, of course. Japanese.
Oh, okay. Bali and Aki was on English commentary.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah. I
didn't listen to it. I just thought that was funny. Apparently, he was like taking the piss out of her and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I heard about that too. But yeah, I always, whenever there's the option, I listen to a Japanese commentary or no commentary at all. It's my favorite actually, but. Yeah, and unless there's like a really good commentator, like I guess Walker Stewart, I can take, but otherwise I try to always go for the Japanese commentary. Especially if was that Sendai Girls or was that Tokyo Joshi Pro where Tom Fane was also?
Marigold.
He's on Marigold all the time, but he was on one of the other shows as well. Which
was he?
Like, because the shows always start on English, right? And I heard like only this guy. And then I switched immediately to Japanese, but anyway. Cool. Next up was the DDT Iron Man Heavy Metal title delayed entry battle royal. What a match. Right. Mahiro Kiryu won it. She defeats Pokotan, Chika Nanase, Kira-sama, Mifu Ashida, Raku Rankaicho, and Shino Suzuki. I don't have too much to say about this match. I think Pokotan went crazy at one point when it got unmasked, I guess. Do you know who was under there?
No, but they did at one point I thought it was Antonio Honda, just because of the way that they were moving, but I actually have no idea who plays Pokotan.
His movements seemed so familiar to me, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Who exactly?
I'm pretty sure he did Honda movements, but that could have been a bait. To be honest, I have no idea. At one point, I thought it was Rika Tatsumi as well. But she wouldn't work twice in one show. Maybe I don't
know. Anyway, yeah. At some point, like Raku's pillow was the champion, which is kind of funny. But other than that, I got nothing to say really. Like Pokotan was the highlight to me. I'm not the biggest Mahiro Kiryu fan, to be honest. So
I'm surprised you brought this match up anyway.
All right. Should we just move on?
Let's move on, yeah.
All right. Up next, we got the singles match. Aja Kong against Himawari. Aja Kong won. Didn't expect anything else. But I thought this was surprisingly good. Yeah, I thought Aja Kong gave Himawari a lot more than I thought she would get, honestly. And like I kind of really like the vibes from Himawari. I like her hair spots and stuff. At one point, Aja Kong choked her with her own hair, which was also fun. Then they got like the hair was steel can battle, which was it was a fun match. And I thought the slam in the end was kind of brutal that Aja Kong gave her for the win. It was kind of like an Uranage too, right?
Yeah, she destroyed her.
Yeah.
I thought this was a good match. I thought Himawari is one of the most consistent performers on the roster. I don't think I've seen her have like a bad match. She just always performs well. She's got great facial expressions. She sells well. She wrestles well. So I liked her getting the Aja Kong match because sort of like an honor who gets the Aja Kong match on a big show. So I like that it was Himawari. I think Aja Kong is fun in TJPW, and this match was sort of appropriate for its spot on the card. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, same. Next we got the first major highlight of the weekend.
Oh god.
We got the Flag Scramble Authorized Weapon Deathmatch. So this was brutal, scary. So the rules of this match essentially were each wrestler had like a flag on their turnbuckle post, and you had to get the other person's flag, I guess, and then you could use a weapon after of your choice. That was authorized before, I guess. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts on Pom Harajuku versus Rika Tatsumi in a flag weapon scramble deathmatch?
Yes.
So I guess this usually like the Maki Ito match, and I feel like without Maki Ito, it seems like Pom is taking her place as like doing the wacky hardcore matches. So I think that's kind of why this is a thing. But
it's kind of also the Pom match, I thought. Pom and Raku, I don't know.
I guess I'll just be honest and say I have no thoughts on this match.
Okay.
Well, I guess the fun thing was about Rika's second weapon, right? So the first weapon was a giant fan, a paper fan, like a huge paper fan. And then the second weapon was Tetsuya Koda, the booker. So the booker was the second weapon. So she used him as a weapon, like Irish whipping him into Pom. And he wasn't very useful, and eventually he cost her the win. So yes, that's right. Pom Harajuku did pin Rika Tatsumi. That is a thing that happened.
For sure. Pom is hardcore, man. Can't underestimate her like that.
Push Pom.
Absolutely. Right. Yes, let's move on. We have a tag match next. It was Hiroyo Matsumoto and Yuki Arai defeating Haruka Sashiro and Toga. Do you have any more thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I thought this match was great.
Me too, actually.
I fucking enjoyed myself. There's some backstory to this pairing. So with Matsumoto and Yuki Arai. So the connection goes back to a drama called Tofu Pro Wrestling that aired back in 2018. Matsumoto was a coach, and Yuki Arai had joined as a cast member. Okay. And Milano AT Collection, who's the New Japan commentator, and I think he's a Stardom coach. Have you heard that? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's in the. Yeah, I don't know how regular. I heard he's only like once or twice in the dojo per month, but he's still doing training there. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was a trainer on that show, and they basically drilled the axe kick, which is her fine lead move that she uses, her finisher now, and they also drilled in the back elbow into Arai, and they said that they would hit the back elbow in a nod to Milano, and they did actually hit that back elbow in this match, so that was some backstory as to why this pairing happened. But the thing I loved about this match, actually, was fucking Toga blasting Matsumoto with some very non-TJPW forearms. I thought I was having like an out of body experience, and I was watching a different promotion there. I've never seen forums like that in TJPW. So yeah, I think Toga probably forgot what promotion she was in as well. But that was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that you mentioned that, that's kind of a negative to me that Milano did that. Because
why?
I think Yuki's X kick finisher is so bad.
Oh, it's fucking awful.
I hated this finisher always.
There's someone in Actress Girl, Yukina Uehara, who's like a rookie, and she does the axe kick better than Yuki Arai, who's been doing it for many years. So yeah, it probably is.
So there's a way to do it well, huh? Okay.
There is, yeah, and it's not the way Yuki Arai does it.
No. I always hated that. Yeah, no, but this was a very fun match. There was some really cool like stereo cloverleaf and stereo chokeslam. There was some sick fisherman's busted at one point, but
there were some mistimed spots from Yuki Arai still though. So despite this match being pretty good, she was not the good part of this match. So yeah.
All right. Next one is yours as well. We have Ryo Mitsunami and Yuki Aino defeating Kaya Toribami and Miyu Yamashita.
Let me take this one, Tim. I need to guess. Yamashita is on a fucking home run right now on the undercard. She's just putting on really good matches. She's been on a streak ever since she was named as the leader of the promotion. Do you remember hearing about that? Basically, yeah, they announced her as, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like a locker room leader or some back office job. I don't know exactly what that entails, but they call her the leader now. And ever since then, she's had banger after banger on house shows. Every time someone on the roster goes against her, they always step it up a notch. She's like the bar that they have to reach, and they try to match her to that challenge. In this match, it was Yuki Aino. So, and Yamashita herself is wrestling some of her best wrestling. Her kicks are so clean. When you watch her, you see she's like a level above everyone else on the roster. I'm really surprised that no one has picked her up, like internationally. But also, I'm very happy that no one's picked her up, and I'm happy that she's committed to TJPW. She has a really important role to play on the undercard, while Miyu Watanabe takes care of the main event scene. The undercard is for Yamashita to coach people up, make them less green, give them good matches.
Have you been watching yet when she was in AEW?
I watched only the recent ones where it was like, this year or something? So what, was she in there like 2021, 2020 or something?
Yeah, around there. I think that was when Thunder Rosa was champion.
Right.
And Thunder Rosa went to TJPW and for like also like a big show. And she fought Miyu Yamashita there, and Miyu Yamashita beat her. And that was actually a pretty good match. Like, the one in TJPW was actually really good. Then they had the rematch, of course. That set up a title match in AEW because Yamashita beat her in Japan. And that was a fucking disaster. Thunder Rosa completely sandbagged her all match. And I
was about to say, it can't be a disaster because of Yamashita, because she is just an amazing wrestler.
No. It was completely 100% Thunder Rosa's fault. She was just slow as fuck and sandbagged her, and it was just awful to watch. And Yamashita was never invited back. I don't know what that was about, but I mean, until this year. So I guess Tony has gotten over that match since then, but I don't know if she would do that well in AEW. So
really? What you mean, booking wise? Because wrestling wise, she definitely would, but maybe
booking wise,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I always think like TJPW wrestlers that are great in TJPW don't really translate that well to AEW, because so just automatically like every opponent will be like twice the size of your previous opponents, and like a tenth as flexible and a tenth as good as at selling your stuff, and a lot of stuff just isn't really possible with the opponents she's gonna have in AEW that she looks so great at when she does it in Tokyo Joshi Pro. So that's always kind of my stance on that. It's the same thing with Yuka Sakazaki.
I was about to say, can you give me a history lesson on Yuka Sakazaki? Like, why is she not booked anymore? Her performance is not good? Because I didn't watch like any of her AEW run.
I feel like her last one wasn't very convincing. Like, she wrestled Mercedes last year, right? And it wasn't like the greatest match of all time. Like, it was a good match because, I mean, it's Yuka and Mercedes. It's gonna be good. But I guess it was kind of like below expectations. Like, Yuka had like a pretty big injury in 2023, I think. And then she graduated from Tokyo Joshi Pro in that year as well. And I don't know if she had problems really getting to her form pre-injury again, or if it just has to do with just wrestlers, her not like gelling well with wrestlers in AEW. I'm not sure about that. I know that she had one very underrated match with Riho in AEW. It was like in 2022 on a random Rampage show, and that was a great match, but nobody knows about that match because it was like a really weird Rampage. So that was probably her best performance in AEW. But I always think like just like the great thing about Yuka in general and Tokyo Joshi Pro is that she can just like bully around these even smaller.
Well, you saw her against Yamashita this year in AEW, and that was like a fucking different side of Yuka. She was like murder mode, right?
Yeah, right. And but I don't know. She's just a different wrestler in AEW, kind of. She's usually
why would Yamashita
like the
not work,
smiley then? Magic girl, and I don't know. Sorry,
why would Yamashita not work?
Like I said, the same reasons. I just think the opposition wouldn't be like her style wouldn't translate as well to the opponents she would have in AEW. Is my opinion, at least.
She would have a sick match with Mercedes, like fucking sick.
That I can see for sure.
Just imagine Mercedes selling those kicks like death. I want to see it now.
Yeah, sure. She probably... Wait, did she fight Queen Aminata in Tokyo Joshi once? I think so.
Wait, did she?
I think that was an awesome match, too. Queen Aminata used to do a couple of Tokyo Joshi dates a couple of years ago, but...
I'll look it up. I want to see that.
Look it up, okay. I can move on. I think I don't really have much about this match. I wanted to talk about Ryo Mitsunami on the Sendai Girls show. So I leave my whole like Ryo Mitsunami section for then, I guess.
Cool. Well, the last part about the match I wanted to ask you about was I don't know if you see a lot of Yuki Aino, but like what you thought about Yuki Aino, or what you think about her in general.
I think I like Yuki Aino in general. I don't really have much of a memory of her in this match, I guess. Did she put Yamashita into full Nelson?
That's part of the problem, though, right? I think Yuki Aino is like distinctly average. She choked Yamashita out, which is a huge.
I just remember that Yamashita tapped, but I wasn't sure anymore if it was Ryo or Yuki who put her in that. Yeah, I was very surprised at Yamashita tapping, but what's
she's
the
same. Well, she's the same class as Miyu Watanabe, and I just think she hasn't progressed as much, and she's still a bit average, and she does get. Yeah. I wouldn't say pushed because it's not like a mega push, but she does get highlighted spots again and again. And I don't know if she's ever going to be a great or amazing wrestler. I just feel like she's always going to be at the average level, which is fine. You know, you need average wrestlers on the mid card, right? But yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Well, the fact you don't have an opinion of her, I guess, is my point. So
yeah, not a strong one, at least. I've never seen Yuki Aino and thought I hated that or anything. But
yeah, exactly. She's not offensive.
To me as like a phenomenal performer either. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, did you find anything out? Probably not, right? I remember one sick ass match from Queen Aminata and Tokyo Joshi, but I don't remember.
She doesn't have any matches on Tokyo Joshi on Cage Match.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she has some Sendai Girls matches, but none of those are with Miyu Yamashita.
Huh.
I was surprised because I was surprised because I remember seeing Aminata wrestled for Marvelous and Sendai Girls, but I never remembered Tokyo.
I must be thinking about the Sendai Girls shows then. Yeah, that's possible. Okay, whatever. Moving on. Right, the next match. I'm on the wrong tab now. Classic. The next match was the International Princess title match, which was a vacant title. Arisu Endo defeated Priscilla Kelly in 11 minutes. I actually thought this was better than I expected. I don't know what you thought.
I think this match is proof that WWE knows what they're doing and they know how to develop talent. So props to Shawn Michaels and NXT for producing this amazing talent to give us this match.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I expected the worst. Like, I remember Priscilla Kelly from like when she was wrestling on the indies, and she's never been really the greatest talent there. She mostly did like some shock matches and got over that way, but like her wrestling wasn't really up there. And then she went to WWE, so you already know she's not gonna develop anything there. So I was expecting the very worst, and I didn't get the very worst, I don't think. So that defied my expectations for sure.
Wait, what do you mean you wouldn't develop in WWE? Did you not see Suri came back as one of the best in the world?
Okay, touche. You got me there, I guess.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh my god.
So this was actually the first time I've seen Priscilla Kelly, I believe. I think I've seen maybe a couple of NXT matches, but I don't even remember them. I thought she was much better than I thought she would be. I realized afterwards that she had done matches in Japan before. She was in Japan in 2018, where she had a match with Miyu Yamashita, I think, off the top of my head. So that's why she was returning. She's much more, quote-unquote, Japan-coded than I thought she was. So, for example, she had like a great missile drop kick. She had an awesome sliding German suplex. And then she had like a Momo Watanabe-style half-and-half suplex. I was like, this isn't an NXT wrestler. So she does need to drop the reverse Bronco Buster, because what the fuck was that? But there were a lot of moves that I really did like from her, and I wasn't expecting that. Just for some background, and then you can talk about the match. So this used to be, this was Jada Stone's title match. She was originally scheduled to face Arisa Endo for the International Princess title, but she had an injury on the indies. So Priscilla Kelly, who was meant to be facing Rika Tatsumi, stepped in for this match. And this was Arisu's, she was chasing her first ever singles title. She came up short on multiple occasions. She reached the Tokyo Princess Cup finals just recently, only to fall to the god of pro wrestling, Miyu Watanabe. So Arisu was sort of hoping this would be like her watershed moment, and it was. And in terms of how this match came about, Moka Miyamoto had to relinquish the title due to undisclosed reasons. We still don't know what her illness is. It's a mystery. So that's how this match came about.
That's always scary.
I hope she's okay.
What was Pom's original match then? Rika Tatsumi?
I think Pom was meant to be in that Pocketan match of the year Battle Royale.
Well, we got lucky then. We would have missed the Flag Scramble Authorized Weapon Death match.
Yeah. I think, wait, was that meant to be Priscilla Kelly in that match? Maybe she was meant to have a death match anyway. I don't know.
Oh. So they just switched everything around for no reason.
Yeah, I think
for
so.
some reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe they didn't want Endo to beat Tatsumi, so they had Pom beat Tatsumi. No, that I don't know.
yeah. They have to. You gotta make Pom look strong.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. She's POFNM.
POFNM. That's a new.
I love that shirt. I want that shirt really badly. The ECW style one with POFNN. I don't know.
So I thought it was a bit, but now I think you're actually like a mark for Pom Harajuku. What are we doing here?
I don't hate her. I have a soft spot for her, for sure. Like I saw her, like whenever I saw her live in Japan, she's always like a ton of fun, and she's like really funny. Like when she's a second ringside for any match,
yeah,
she's really entertaining. She's good fun to watch live.
How did we get back on Pom?
Because of all the matches.
Yeah. Priscilla Kelly.
Priscilla Kelly. I just thought she looked better than I expected. I thought there was one time where Risu slipped and fell, and that looked fucking rough.
Was it like there was a flying nothing, yeah. I didn't even figure out what they were trying to do. I
don't know either. To me, it just looked like she slipped. I don't know if maybe the timing was off too. I don't know. Rizu was bleeding from the nose at one point, and overall better than I expected, but like I got nothing more really to say about it.
I'm happy Arisu won. So first title.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
She deserves it. She's a great worker. The problem with this match is the winner was so obvious that there was like never any drama. So the whole novelty of the match was how good is Priscilla Kelly, and I feel like we've just spoken about that. So the result was never in doubt. Everyone knew Arisu was going to win. She's good. We all know she's good. She's going to continue having good matches.
I like the Smiths song. I don't like Morrissey, but I like her song.
Wait, whose song?
The Smiths. Like Priscilla Kelly's entrance song. It's the Smiths, right?
Yeah. Well, I listen to Taylor Swift and Taylor Swift only. You can't just throw the Smiths at me and expect me to know. What? I didn't even know if that was a band. I thought you were talking about like a wrestling unit. I had no idea what you meant.
Did you ever watch Charmed, the series with the witches, the TV series?
No. Who's the famous actress in it? I might remember the actress.
Alyssa Milano?
Okay, I didn't remember the name, but if you showed me a picture, I'd probably know who she is.
Yeah. Anyway, that TV series had the same song as their intro.
Oh, okay.
So That's where most people know it from, probably, but it's a great song, actually. Anyway. Right, moving on. Or did you have anything more on Priscilla Kelly?
No.
Before I move on.
I think she'll be fine.
I liked Arisu Endo winning the International Princess title match a lot more than I liked Uber Eats winning the Princess Tag Team title match.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Which was next. They defeated Kyoraku Kiyomei, which is Hyper Misao and Shoko Nakajima, in 17 minutes. What are your thoughts?
Fucking hell. All right, I'll give the background, then I'll talk about the match. So it was a rematch from Las Vegas where Kyoraku Kiyomai successfully defended their titles against Uber Eats.
Yeah.
They won the titles in March, and that was the match where Misao sort of like unmasked. I still don't know if it was accidental. I think it was, but it was like a super emotional match. And Misao had spoken about like
that match.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. It was good you mentioned that, because I've only seen it once when I watched it live, and I was not like a dedicated TJPW viewer at that time, so it didn't resonate with me. And then I've gone back and watched like all the hype shows, and now I really like Misao. So I think if I give it a rewatch, it's going to jump up several notches for me. But when watching it live, I was like, what is this? Like, what's happening? But now if I watch it back, I think it will stand out much more. So
that moment when Hyper Misao got unmasked and she like all of a sudden turned into this fucking, I don't know, monster wrestler and just fucking ruled.
I just got
so sick.
I just got goosebumps because so that's why a match is good. Same. Because what month are we in? September. That match happened in March, and I still know I can picture the exact frame in my brain when that happened. That is like good fucking pro wrestling. But anyway, so in her Hype Free show, she spoke about how that title win added a lot of pressure on top of her, and she vented a lot about that. It was like a super emotional promo, actually. So she's finally come to terms with being a champion and defending against teams like Daydream, Miya Watanabe, and Rika Tatsumi, which is a top team. So there was a lot of emotion. I really wanted Kyoraku Kiyome to win, and I just Overeats. They're not that good. I mean, you have 17 minutes with fucking Shoko Nakajima, one of the best workers in the company, and Misao, I guess. You know, she can go when she wants to, but you have to have a bit more of a better match than this. Like, I thought nothing stood out to me in the match at all. I thought it was a good match. Both Kamifuku and Wakana Yohara worked a bit harder than usual, but it felt like a match I could have seen on any TJPW house show.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna look a bit like a hypocrite here because I've been crying for Wakana Uehara's elevation for like a year or two. I've always thought they have to do more with her. They have to fucking push her already because I think she's amazing. But I didn't want her to beat Hyper Misao and Shoko Nakajima. Not with Yuki Kamifuku, to be fair. Like, I don't want to sound mean here. I don't hate, like, Kamiyu. But I just think she's not very great in the ring, honestly.
I listened to the flagship. Wait, was it? Yeah, it was the flagship because they were reviewing an MLW show, and it was Shoko and Kamifuku in a preview tag. But you know, Shoko has the I forget. Oh, it's the Women's World Featherweight Championship. That's what Shoko holds. And Joe Lanza, it was like the first time he had seen Kamiyu, and he buried the fuck out of her. He said that she was the worst wrestler he had ever seen, full stop, and he never wanted to see her ever again on his screen. So I wouldn't go that far, but she's definitely not like a great worker. Do you want a hot take about Wakana? I'll give you a hot take. I think people, including myself, wanted her pushed mainly because she's attractive. Because, like, as a worker, she by the way, by attractive, I mean she has a good look, right? She has an amazing wrestling look. Like, when she dressed up as Miyu Yamashita, when she cosplayed as her, she looked incredible. But she's really green. I was going to say she's a bad worker, but she's just really green. She's not a great wrestler. And I don't want bad workers pushed, generally. I know TJPW isn't like a work rate promotion, but I just prefer to see them lower down the card.
Yeah, maybe you're right about that. I remember seeing Wakana. When was that? I think that was at the January 4th show last year. Did she face Aja Kong there?
Let me find out for you.
Okay, but I thought she looked like that was like she was pretty new then. She was like really in her rookie stage, and I thought she looked extremely good in that match for her stage of
this
career,
January or last January?
Last one.
She was against Aja Kong, yeah.
Yeah, right. I think that was an amazing performance for someone at her stage at back then. I gotta be honest, I've never followed like Tokyo Joshi week to week very much, so I've never seen her progression a lot. But every time I do see her, I think she's actually like a pretty decent worker now. But maybe
I did say it was a hot take, to be fair.
But, yeah, I think she's just also a really, really funny wrestler to follow with her like fucking binge eating and shit. So
I don't understand the binge eating from a biological point of view.
No,
how
neither.
does she not put on weight?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think about when I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I just like the part that I don't really like about Kamiyu is not even just that she's a bad worker in itself. I just her offense, like what she does, are all like moves that I always deeply hated, like the famous and stuff like that. I just don't like this type of offense that she does. So I'm just not a big fan. I can understand when they're over there in MLW, they probably give like 30% max. Usually is how that goes. So if Kamiyu is at 30%, you can think that was probably not the greatest match of all time that Mr. Lanza saw there. So
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I was sad that Hypermisawa and Shoko lost, but what can you do?
Yeah, and I don't think the match was like outstanding either. Like I would have minded less if it was like a really good match for the 17 minutes. Also, I just really don't understand Shoko taking the pin. Shoko Nakajima literally just pinned Mizuki in the Tokyo Princess Cup when she was a champion. So she could say she beat a champion and demand a shot for Miyu on a big show. That's like the level she's at. Why is she taking the pin from Kamiyu when Misao is right there? Misao isn't like meant to be a strong character in ring. She's not portrayed like that. So she can eat pins very easily because her character remains over. So the only reason to pin Shoko is because you really want to put Overeats over. And that's not something I'm interested in. So
right, yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Wasn't very outstanding, unlike our main event of the night.
This was fucking good.
Oh yeah. It was Miyu Watanabe defeating Mizuki in 22 minutes and 58 seconds to win the Princess of Princess title. Do you want to go first?
Yes, so the match was built around Miyu wanting to prove that she was the number one princess around. That's what the story was about. It was kind of funny on house shows. She would constantly barrage her tag team partners and interviewers and reporters. She would ask them, do you think I'm a princess? And they would, of course, say yes. It was like she bullied them to like say yes and call her a princess. She referred to herself as Mewderella, a play on Cinderella. There's like a bit of a heelish vibe with this Mewderella character. There's like a hint of obsessiveness over becoming a princess and pushing everyone she speaks to confirm that she's the most princess of them all. She could just be playing, be playful, but I think there's potential for it to be a character that allows her to be a bully and to be dominant in big matches against the roster, and that's what an ace needs to do at times. If you think about all of the aces of all of the big Japanese companies, they have someone step up to them to challenge them, and then the ace just pummels them to the ground. It's a way to get people over in Japan after a few challenges. You see it all the time. And Miyu Watanabe is now Miyu Yamashita. They've passed the torch over. So Miyu does need a bit of a bully character sometimes, and this Mewderella is like tapping into that, I think. And I think it's super smart. And even if it's headcanon, and I've just made it completely the fuck up, it works for me, and that makes all of her big matches way more enjoyable for me against the underdogs. So that's the background. The match itself, I thought was fucking excellent. I thought it was around the same level as their Korakuen Hall match earlier in the year. I do think Miyu probably doesn't have the same chemistry with Mizuki that she does with Shoko, which is kind of like a really fucking high bar, right? So, because Miyu and Shoko are probably like soulmates, but it was still really, really good. I think it had a clear and simple story as well. So again, both wanted to be number one princess, but in different ways. Miyu's entire gimmick is that she was an idol who reluctantly became a pro wrestler. And when the idol path didn't work out, she hated working out, but she wanted to be successful as a wrestler. So, she lifted weights and all that. So now in all her matches, she uses that power to her advantage, and she exploits weaknesses in her opponent. And Mizuki's gimmick is based on rabbits. Her nickname is Mizu-Pion, and Pion is the sound a rabbit makes in Japan. So she's crafty, she wriggles out of tricky situations, and you could see that in this match. And that's actually what made me love this match. It was all about whether Miyu could make her power count and land the necessary blows, and it was whether Mizuki could dodge them. And they never once deviated from that story. That was the story they were going to tell, and they did that.
Right. Excellent. Yeah, I thought this match was fucking great. If I had to compare it to the Korakuen Hall match at the start of the year, which I was there for live, I wouldn't even know which one I preferred, honestly. Like you said, pretty much on the same level.
I think that's the same.
Yeah, it's just, but Miyu is just so fucking good. Like she has this intensity in her eyes that is just, I don't know, it's just so believable. It's just so good. Yeah, I thought there were a couple of like great spots. I thought when Miyu had her for the giant swing and Mizuki just grabbed the rope in like
so good
desperation and got out of it, was so good. And I've never seen that as a counter really before. Someone just...
No, but that's part of the story, right? That Mizuki's like crafty and she wants to get out of these holes and she finds ways to do it that no one else can do. Mizuki's the only one that's like broken the giant swing like that because she's the only one that can do it like that.
Yeah. She also did like the giant double foot stomp from the top rope to the floor, which always pops me. Yeah, I think like despite the like difference in like strength and like Miyu being the power wrestler in this matchup, I still thought Miyu sold like hell, and her selling was so good for Mizuki too. And then she did the other crazy swing where she has like Mizuki just at her waist basically and swings her around from there, which just looked kind of crazy. And yeah, excellent match. I don't know.
So I'm gonna say, I think, tell me what you think. I think Miyu Watanabe has one of the best big match layouts in all of wrestling. I think her big matches never miss. Have you like ever seen a bad big Miyu match?
I couldn't tell you one.
She doesn't miss, and I feel like we need to put some fucking respect on her name. She needs to be in the same lists as like Suri, Azumi, Starlight Kid, Suri, Saya. She needs to be in that conversation. I think she is just as good as those wrestlers.
I think that's absolutely fair, for sure. And yeah, another excellent performance. I was kind of surprised. I think the crowd was badly mic'd. Do you think
the crowd is not good? But that
they
doesn't
were either
me.
Not good or not good mic'd. I don't know.
Yeah,
was kind of lacking the, like, especially after she won, you could hear like some chants for her, but it didn't feel loud at all. I hope.
I feel like I'm used to that from TJPW. Maybe someone who's been watching for longer might know, because I'm only a couple years in. But I'm used to them having quieter crowds compared to other promotions, especially like Stardom.
I mean, that's probably true, yeah. Although, yeah, I mean, the Stardom crowd's really gotten a lot better. Like, if you watch Stardom for like 2 years ago and before that, they had awful crowds as well. And they also always had like really bad problems with miking the crowd. So that's maybe generally a problem over there, that they just can't really figure out the sound correctly. Because I always heard like people who were there live at Stardom shows always said the crowd was way better than everyone acts, but like it just never came across on TV. So that's a big problem too.
Some other spots. Don't know if you saw Mizuki land like a QT special like through the apron. Do you remember Xena's power slam in Stardom, which went viral? Yeah. So this was like a QT special variation. It didn't land perfectly, but you know the thought was there, which I like that.
Good enough. I thought.
And then Mizuki's whirling candy was fucking pitch perfect.
I was about to bring that up too. Yeah.
It was amazing. So that was a really good near fall.
Yeah, I was actually I bit on that hard on that near fall.
Yeah. But yeah, so Miyu won with the combination, which has helped her win a lot of the matches recently. So she landed the laser beam chop, but this time she hits a new spinning variation of the teardrop for the win. She was asked about it backstage, and she was like, I don't know, I just kind of did it. And then she was asking the interviewer, do you think it worked? And the interviewer was like, yeah. And then Miyu was like, oh, maybe I'll workshop that and work on it a bit more. So obviously she prepared that, but the idea is that she just did it in the moment because it was, an emotional match and she had to put Mizuki away, which is awesome. I love stories like that.
Yeah, it was an excellent finish. I thought so too. I wasn't aware that it was a Neo variation, but that's cool. All right. Do you have anything else on the show on Tokyo Joshi Pro?
No, I thought so I guess to sum things up, I thought the undercard of the show was pretty good, more so than I expect from a TJPW big show. Two of the matches I thought were pretty good, which was the Matsumoto and Toga forearming each other, and Miyu Yamashita match was pretty good, and then the main event was excellent. So the main thing I got from this show is TJPW's handover to the next generation is now done. So at Grand Princess 2024, 4 members of the newer generation all left the show with major titles. So Yuki Arai won the International, Daisy Monkey won the Tag Team, and Miyu Watanabe won the Princess title in March last year. So that sort of like elevated them into the upper mid card in the main event scene. But the first title reign for Miyu, I think, was just sort of like to change her perception as a top talent. It wasn't like a cementing run. If you look at who she defended against, it was Shoko, Rika Tatsumi, and then 3 outsiders. It was Vert Vixen, Ryo Mizunami, and Zara Zaka. And then she dropped it to Mizuki. So that means she faced 0 members of the newer generation of TJPW and none of her classmates. So the first run was just a rubber stamp, basically. Okay, you're good enough to carry the title. This one, I think, is the like official crowning of her as the ace. So she's now probably going to defend against all of her classmates. Yuki Aino is the first one, so that kind of proves my point. That's her 2018 classmate. And also, if you look at the results in this card, all of the older generation took direct pinfalls. Pom pinned Rika, so that's the first one. Yuki Aino tapped out Miyu Yamashita. Overeats, which has got Wakana in it, beat Kiraku Kyomai, and Shoko was pinned directly, right, by Kanafuku. And then Miyu Watanabe pins Mizuki. So transition is now well and truly done. Yeah,
people have been waiting for that for a long while. But
it's a fucking slow booked promotion, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah. I kind of get it from the standpoint that like the gap in talent, I guess, that was there between like Miyu Yamashita, Shoko Nakajima, to like the lower card was just, I guess, too big in previous years to really do that transition yet.
Yeah.
But now they kind of got there, and yeah, let's hope it goes well for them.
I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Right. Next, we watched the Big Show.
The Big Show.
The Big Show.
We watched the Big Show.
Sendai.
Paul White.
We watched Paul White in Sendai.
Where is Paul White?
I don't know.
Is he still signed to AEW?
I couldn't tell you. I never heard anything else, to be honest. I heard when Mark Henry was out, but for Paul White, I never heard the same really. I think maybe that's just paying him to have him like as a legend or whatever. Just good for him.
I think he should come back and do a feud with Chris Jericho.
That's what you would like, huh?
that would send some brains melting.
Right, but we watched another big show. It was the Sendai Girls big show in Sendai. It was yesterday. I don't have an attendance number here yet. Do you know anything?
They did not release the attendance. It looked
right
full-ish, but I'd be surprised if they did more than like the All Japan number in June, which was 1,800. It looked similarly packed. They basically did the same strategy that they did in Zebi Arena a month ago, which was they let under 18s in for free. So that obviously pads some numbers. Don't know what the paid tickets are, but the fact they didn't announce it makes me think it was less than they were expecting or something. Not sure. It looked decently full.
Right. It was at the Sendai Sun Plaza Hall, September 23rd, and overall, I thought it was a really fun show. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot more than the biggest, honestly. Overall, do you have any overall thoughts first?
I think these shows have a lot of filler, though. I mean, when I saw it was like because I couldn't watch it live because this time I was at work, and for the biggest show in August, it was Forbidden Door weekend, so I didn't watch that live. So the shows are a lot easier to watch when you can skip through a lot. I think watching live, I might have got tired because I remember skipping through and I was like, whoa, this is a long time until the next match.
Yeah. There was this one portion where they just brought out like a random basketball team, I think, and a football team.
Local Sendai teams, I guess.
Yeah. But I think it's cool if they like advertise like local stuff on their shows. They're
trying to draw the local crowd.
Really well attended. So sorry.
Yeah, they've got people in the state in the building that might not have watched wrestling before. So they're trying to attract those types of fans. That's why there's like a lot of comedy on the undercard. They're not for like people who go to every single Sendai show.
Exactly. And it's good to help out like your local teams, you know. They're
Absolutely.
Just trying to do the best for Sendai, I guess. Anyway, our opening match was Fukuoka W Crazy, which is Hazuki and Koguma, defeating Bob Moma Banana, which is Miyo Momono and Yurika Oka, to become the number one contender for the Sendai Girls Tag Team titles in 12 minutes. I thought this was really good. I thought this was excellent. It was just like, sometimes you feel like FWC are a bit like checked out when you watch them in some Stardom matches where they're just kind of like, they're unaffiliated now. You don't really know what they're gonna do. But here it looked like the old FWC, like just fucking going in. Hazuki beating the shit out of Momono with forearms, and just a great back and forth. I thought like Mio gave it back to Hazuki just as she received it. After that, there were a couple of iffy spots where like Bob Momo Banana tried some double team pins that didn't really work out. But in the end, there was a really awesome big boot by Hazuki, and the big senton gets the pin after that. So I was kind of surprised, honestly, that FWC won this. Bob Momo Banana bit on a losing streak lately. They keep losing against these Stardom teams, I guess. Because like Natsuboy and Starlight Kid beat them in the last show, right?
Oh, these are some big stars. You can't you can't have Yurika Oka pin in fucking Starlight Kid.
That's kind of true. But what were your thoughts on this one?
I thought it was a good match, but I probably have a bit of an issue with Sendai Girls cards, because what I think they do that I don't like is they book really good workers and then put them lower in the card. And with Sendai Girls, you wrestle to where you are on the card. So you can have really amazing workers in openers that don't go as hard as they would if they were like in a later part of the card. I'd rather they basically spread out the talent over their shows rather than load a single card, I guess is what I'm saying. Because while this match was good, there's like 100 matches these four people could have that were better than that, right? But that's how good they are, that they could still have a good match. But
I guess,
I did think it was a bit like it was exactly what I expected, I guess.
Yeah, it kind of felt like the American thing where you put like one of the biggest matches of the evening in the opener to make it like the second most important or whatever. But maybe you're right that they didn't take it as important.
Yeah, I don't feel like they wrestled at. Yeah, I don't think they wrestled at that level. Like when AEW do it, normally the opener is like you still give them like 20 minutes, but they wrestled this like it was the opener. Like I've seen Mio do like way more than that. You know, Hazuki goes harder on other matches as well. So while this was good, I'm not saying it was bad by any stretch. They can definitely go harder.
I mean, from the time booking standpoint, it was one of the longest matches on the show as well. Like the next couple of matches were all pretty short.
Was this like 10 minutes? How long was this one?
It was 12 minutes,
Yeah.
11:57.
That's pretty short for these four, right? They can go like...
It is pretty short, but like the next ones were 9, 8, 6, and 8. So they were at least longer than those couple of mid-card matches, I guess.
But it was good. I like this match, to be clear.
For sure. Up next, we had the Sendai Girls Junior title match, which saw Yuna defeat Rian in a spectacular Goliath versus Goliath match. It was basically two
giants of the scene,
giants of the sport going against each other. It was basically an unstoppable force going against an immovable object.
This was El Clasico in wrestling form.
Absolutely. yeah, it was the twerp fight. Two reckless twerps going at each other. Yeah, it wasn't like the greatest pro wrestling technical gem in the entire world, but I thought in its own way it was like very enjoyable. Just these two small twerps just going at each other. It was kind of fun. I also thought it was kind of like not like, to me it wasn't clear who was gonna win from these two.
Oh, really?
I didn't think Yuna was gonna be just a transitional champion and hold the belt for a couple of weeks, but I also thought they booked like another talent from Stardom. I don't know. I saw like some people on the internet were like convinced that Rian was gonna win, so maybe that made me a bit like uncertain about it. But
I mean, Rian can eat pins, right? It's not like she's booked particularly strong.
Yeah,
and Yuna is the hometown girl, so I thought there was like no way she was losing this one.
Yeah.
Have you watched a lot of Yuna?
I haven't really seen too much of her, but I kind of like her. She's got that little like twerp style that Rian has as well. She's like, she always looks like a deer in the headlights. I think I said this last week as well. And I don't know, it makes for a funny dynamic kind of.
Yeah, but I think she has it in a bad way. like as in like she's like almost like she's a bit scared, or like it's that rookie awkwardness, right? That she has. True. But she's been wrestling for 2 years, so this match, this match made me. She debuted before Yuzuki, so this match kind of made me realize like why Yuna hasn't really clicked with me yet. I always lose focus during her matches. Like every time I feel like I'm watching her, it feels like she's doing like training drills or like it's a dojo match, because she's still very green, even though she's been wrestling so long. I just think she isn't progressing fast enough. I don't think she's particularly athletic, and I think she does struggle to make the connection to the crowd that Rian does, right? So like, Rian is a twerp, and she does connect to the crowd because like it's not like a scared twerp. She's just an actual twerp. But so yeah, I don't know. That's how. I've watched 24 matches of Yuna's this year, and I barely don't remember any. So,
nah, I gotta be perfectly honest here. I totally was unaware that Yuna has been wrestling for 2 years. That's a bit shocking. Then, maybe I gotta calm down with my praise for her. Then I kind of in my head, why did I never see her before? Then in my head, she is like a total newbie for some reason, or maybe I just don't ever remember it either. That's probably it. That must be it then. That's crazy.
She debuted on the 9th of August 2023.
Okay. Yeah.
Against Rhea.
She got ways to go.
Yeah. But if you're like this 2 years into your career, I get worried if you're going to get... Are there any like late bloomers? There must be. Like people who didn't do much development in like the first 3-4 years of their career and then they just suddenly got good. Is that a thing?
You know who I'd... Oh my God, I can't speak. You know who I would honestly put in that category?
Yeah.
Tam Nakano.
Oh, I don't know what she was like at the start of her career. Tell me, Tim.
From everything I've seen, it's kind of tough to go back to the very early days because like the early AWT shows aren't really out there. But like when she arrived in Stardom for the longest time, she was kind of really not great. And she was also injured for a long time around that time, so for like 8 months to a year, I think. So that kind of like stumped her progress a lot. Anyway, she had this amazing breakout match with Arisa Hoshiki in 2019, which is...
I've seen that match, yeah.
Yeah. And that was that's kind of when it clicked with her, I would say. But that is like 3-4 years into her career. So before that, she was always like kind of really not great. And from then on, I think she improved rapidly and greatly. And I guess she reached her full form like in 2021, I guess, during her white belt reign. But yeah, for the first 3-4 years of her career, she was a late bloomer for sure, I'd say.
Well, let's be patient with Yuna. Maybe she'll get there.
I don't know if she's gonna go Tam Nakano level, but
well, imagine that. Maybe you'll be talking about Yuna like you talk about Tam in 5 years.
We'll see. Let's keep our hearts open for Yuna.
Absolutely.
Right. Next up, we had the Sari match. It was Sari defeating Manami in 8 minutes and 31 seconds. This was kind of a pretty dominant showing from Sari. I thought going in that Manami had a bit more, would see a bit more light, I guess. But Sari kind of like, yeah, she came in and dominated her a bunch and gave her a Uranage and pinned her. It kind of reminded me, honestly, of that Mika Ibata match last time, which also was a lot shorter than I expected. I thought, Ibata got more offense in than Manami, but it was the same kind of style, like Sari's coming in, beating someone up and leaving again. I don't know, what did you think?
So, when people talk about getting offense in a match, I just think about crowd reactions. Isn't it more important that the crowd gets behind the wrestler that's losing rather than like how much offense they got in? Sure, if they get like more offense in, they might get more cheers. But I felt like Sari was kind of effective in her beatdown of Manami to get the crowd behind her. And I feel like she does that in all of her quote-unquote like squash matches. So I don't think like they're all the same. So she's had 2 with Rana Yagami, she's had 1 with Hina, 1 with Aya Sakura, and then 1 in Marvelous with Ai Huzan. And I feel like all of them are slightly different, and she varies how she beats them up depending on the crowd reaction and how the crowd are reacting. Her squash matches always get like some of the biggest reactions on the entire show. So I can't be convinced that they don't work in getting the loser over because the crowd do respond to it. Does that make sense? Or am I chatting shit?
I think that's an agreeable take.
Because they did get behind Manami like multiple times in this match, right? With like loud chants and.
I just think like at this point Manami is like an 8-year veteran, right?
That's true.
So she's not on that level to me of like an Aya Sakura or whatever. So
no, that's correct. Yeah.
So I expected her to get a bit more, just like from that standpoint, I guess.
Okay, sure, but I don't put that on Sari. Like that's just how Maiko books, right? I mean she did it to fucking Iwata.
So that's absolutely true. No, I to be clear, I don't put any of that on Sari, and I don't think I don't know if that came out wrong, but it's not like I thought that was like I hated the match because of that or anything. It's just
I
like,
heard you were comparing her to Triple H. That's what I heard, Tim.
Absolutely. No, absolutely not. I love Sari matches, and I agree with you that she's very, very good at getting the crowd behind her opponents. Especially right now when she's being the big bad bully heel. Apparently multiple promotions now. So that works out great for me. And it was like technically it was a great fucking match too. I mean,
yeah, I liked it a lot.
Beat just the shit out of each other. I think at one point Manami did a really cool counter. I think Sari wanted to go to the top rope and Manami just grabbed her leg and she just
backstabber.
Yeah, she swung Sari around, so Sari landed in the ropes and she gave immediately a backstabber after that. I thought that looked cool.
So I thought Manami looked pretty good coming out of this match. I know she's like an 8-year vet, but normally when I watch her, she's like doing the gimmick, right? She does wrestle like a bit, maybe some comedy a lot of the time. She doesn't really put out like the full work rate style or like show the full baby face fire. And I thought this was like serious Manami proving like what level she's on. Like she can like have a really strong baby face fire, and she is a really good wrestler. I guess. It is weird because she's 8 years, but I 8 years in, but I think she can be world champion in Sendai Girls. I don't know when she's going to get there. But for example, like when she was blasting Sari with like forearms,
those were good.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching Manami in this match more than I have in other matches this year. I guess is how I look at it.
Right.
But I am also a Sari mark, so take what I say with a grain of salt.
I think you're right. Anyway, should we move on to?
No. You don't think I'm right. You're doing the thing where you're just agreeing with me because you don't want to disagree because you don't like conflict, right? Emmy wouldn't be happy with
starting with that too now.
Yeah. You don't agree, Tim. You think Manami got buried in this match. Just say it.
No. No.
Okay.
I agree with you on the greatness of Suri, okay? She's one of my favorite wrestlers as well. So you're not the only Suri mark on this podcast.
But you thought Manami should get more for where she is in her career.
I expected her to get more offense.
That's fair enough.
Don't know if I think that it hurt her a ton. I think Manami's came out the same way as she did going in, as she was going in.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it hurt or anything. I was just expecting a bit more of a competitive match in this one, just because Manami is like not just some newbie rookie. So that's just my reasoning for that.
And I can agree with that take for sure.
All right. So next up, we had a fun little 6-man tag. It was an incredible team. I loved seeing that team coming out of Jaguar Yokota, Unagi Sayaka, and Miku Kanai.
I knew you would love this.
I mean, that's just a great vibes team, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, completely different vibes, but I don't know. I loved seeing those three together. They took on Sakura Hirota, Yu, and Miyuki Takase. Yeah, I mean, this was a ton of comedy. Of course, it was a Hirota match. It was a Yu match. It was a Nagi Sayaka match. What else are you gonna expect from it? I think Jaguar is just a badass doing flip sentons off the apron at 64 years old and shit like that. And I was surprised how Jaguar sold for Hirota at one point when Hirota did her I don't even know what to call it, shark attack or whatever.
Did you just say shark attack?
Yeah,
Wait, are you talking about her butt attack?
What?
Yeah, it's a butt attack. It's like I would a shark attack.
I don't know. When she folds her hands before her face, right? Like you would mimic a fish swimming or whatever.
I've honestly never thought about it like that.
I didn't know what to write in my notes. I guess I wrote shark attack.
Wait, so you actually typed out shark attack?
Huh?
Did you type out shark attack in your notes?
Yes.
Oh my, that's insane.
I don't know, because she went on she went to the ramp, right? She went right to the entrance ramp, and she just ran down with her two hands. I mean, she always does that. I know that, but in this case, it kind of looked like she was mimicking a shark running down there. I don't know what to say.
I don't think I can watch a Sakura Hirota match ever again.
I'm sorry for your great loss.
Yeah. Well, she's back wrestling because she failed a political campaign in Aichi Prefecture. So she was out for a bit. She left the wave, and then she was like, I'm going to try to be a politician. She failed the election, and now she's back for a bit. So that is a thing that is happening. I put this match on 2X. That is Sakura Hirota is my signal for fast forwarding through matches. And the only thing I have for this is, can we get some big matches for Miyuki Takase, please? This is the second big show in a row. Right? Yeah, and she's in the comedy tag. She needs some big matches. She's great.
I agree. Did you see the finish? I thought the finish was really cool, actually.
Fill me in on the finish, Tim.
Huh?
Fill me in on the finish. I'm sure it was amazing.
Miku was just it was Miku Kanai, and she was outsmarting basically the enemy team a bunch, and made you hit Hirota I think first with a spear and then with a senton. She was always meant to hit Miku, but she went out of the way, and kind of you always ended up hitting Hirota, and then Miku got the pin on Hirota of all people, and I just thought it was really cool how smart Miku looked in this one, and that she got the pin at all. I celebrated that because Miku is my special little guy, you know.
Well, Miku's getting some pins over the scene. I don't know what Yumiko Hotta is doing, but the way she's getting these bookings, Miku is picking up wins. She's challenging for a title in EVA. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
She's on the up and up.
That,
yeah, she's on the up and up.
Or you said that last week. I don't remember. I heard about that. I definitely want to watch that. That's cool. Okay, hell yeah. Vanny, what's next?
I fucking have I said I love Vanny? Have I said that?
I don't think we say it enough. Vanny is
Wait,
so awesome.
Miko's your special. How many special little guys are you allowed to
have? I don't have a special little guy right now. Okay, but like I have my little my. What do you call someone who's like an underrated favorite who like?
Well, that's what I thought a special little guy was.
It's basically a special little guy. Yeah.
Or can you only have one?
I mean, special little guy is like your most special guy, but I don't know who that would even be right now. But like, there's just some wrestlers that I always love watching, and she's one of them.
Okay, well, I think
that are like not the usual, I'd say, favorites of people or whatever. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, I think Vinny is one of mine. Whatever that is, she's like on the verge of SLG territory. I love Vinny. Like I just smile when she comes out for her entrance. I just get so happy seeing her come out and wrestle. I love her fucking black funeral outfit that she's wearing now. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, me too. I'm thinking about this. I don't think there's any rules for special little guys. I think that's exactly what it is. It's just people who you love personally, but and that always make you happy. And
she's
you can have as many special little guys as you want, I think.
And she's one of them for sure.
Absolutely. She teamed with Lena Cross to defeat Rain Leverkusen and Spike Nishimura. What do you think of Rain Leverkusen?
So I've seen her in Eve live as well. I think she's a pretty good worker. She was in WWE tryouts over SummerSlam. So I'm not sure what this tour is. It's her first ever appearance in Sendai Girls. So we'll see if she got signed or not. But this could either be a bucket list item or it could be that she wants to expand her bookings. So I don't know exactly what's happening, but I think she's a really good worker. And she showed that in this match. But I think the problem with this match was the crowd did not care about the filthy gaijins. No, they did not. They did not care about Rain Leverkusen, Spike Nishimura, and Lena Cross. Yeah, and it was Rainy and 3 gaijins, so no crowd response.
That's kind of true, yeah. Yeah, I kind of popped. I went into the show relatively blind, to be honest. I knew about the title matches. I knew about FWC and Pop Momo Banana, but the other 3 or 4 matches I was kind of blind on. So seeing Rain Leverkusen walk out after he kind of popped me, yeah. She kind of like I kind of really like her. Like I was always like baffled and confused when I read her name before I ever saw her, because like Leverkusen is just a
does it mean Germany, anything? Right?
It's the name of a town, and the town is actually a really small town. It basically is only really a factory and the people who work there. It's the Bayer factory. It's like a giant medicinal company.
Hang on a sec. So Bayer Leverkusen,
yes,
they're named after a company?
Yes.
That is fucking weird. Wait, is it like sponsorship? Or like, how does that work?
It is basically, they have this huge factory, right? In Northern Westphalia. I don't know the exact English name for the region, but so basically the town consists only of the factory, and I'm pretty sure the football team used to be just like the factory football team, but because this is a fucking huge ass company that sells medicine worldwide, and you know what kind of fucking industry that is, they have like endless money, so I guess they just decided to make their company football team into this huge fucking Bundesliga team. And because Leverkusen is not a town like a big town in Germany that should have this kind of team, but
I had
just
no
because
idea.
of the money from the company, it's
Where's the stadium? Is it in Leverkusen?
Pretty sure, yeah. So let me look up Leverkusen. I mean, I assume.
No, this is important, Tim. We have to hash this out before we continue.
Yeah. So now, I think it grew a bunch. Yeah. Yeah, I guess since they're like a famous town now, they got over 100,000 people there living now.
Ah.
Which is still not much. It's still not.
Well, how big is their stadium?
Town, but
the stadium is probably like 40,000 capacity, no? So it's like half the fucking town.
Probably bigger.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, there's the. Yeah, so they used to be a town with like 10,000 people until like the mid 1900s, when like this. When the company basically was going mad with like the industry and stuff, and they like rose in population dramatically after that. And yeah,
I like this. I liked this history lesson. Thank you. So she must be a fan of the team.
Maybe that's just the most German word you could think of. I don't know, because she has the style. She looks like the prototypical German woman from the 1980s, and I always found that so fascinating. She looks like if you took Nena and just brought it to the maximum of her style. It's kind of fascinating, and I kind of like that. So,
what do you think of her work?
I mean, it's solid, right? It's never really like stood out to me greatly as like this fucking super worker. She gets by mostly on like her charisma, I think, and her look, and she's fun to watch just in general, and that's often enough for me, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think she's going to be pretty over with the Japanese audience if she like continues the way she did in this match. To be honest, she has like really good facial expressions. She's a good worker, and she has really good strikes. Like those are the three things you need to sort of like get yourself over. She had a great head kick and a really good spine buster, or like the two moves that stood out to me. But yeah, I thought she had a good debut.
Yeah. Same.
I don't have much else about this match, to be honest. Because
I wrote this was a rather one-sided affair. It was a fun match, but pretty short, and Benny won with the moonsault, which is always awesome. Right. Moving on. And then we had like the big section with like all the basketball players and sport teams. And then we got a big announcement. Do you want to take this movie?
I'm so fucking excited for this. Okay, so they announced the Jaja Uma tournament, which is basically the 7th edition of the tournament, which is their like young talent tournament. So they just have a bunch of young wrestlers in a single elimination tournament bracket, and the participants are fucking insane. So I have no idea how Sendai Girls just continues to be the promotion that everyone is fine working with. Micah Setamura is a fucking legend. I'm in particular, I guess I'm surprised at the Marigold inclusion. So I know they're probably not gonna. So I guess I should say the participants first, actually. So it's Spike Nishimura from Sendai Girls, Yuna from Sendai Girls, Yuka Satsuki. She was the only one I wasn't really familiar with. It's one of those names that I've actually watched a match of because it's in my spreadsheet, but I didn't remember her, and I had to like look up a picture of her just to jog my memory. She was in an Evo match this year. She's a rookie from 2AW, which is the same promotion as Ayame Sesamura, who's my number one special little guy. But I don't watch the 2AW promotion just because there's a lot of other wrestling on it, which I don't care about. So Soy from Evo, Mirio Koga from Seedling, Yuki Funa from Seedling, Miku Kanai from T-Hearts, Rhea Seto from Marigold, Rianne and MMI Shima from Stardom, and then Sora Iyame and Senka from Marvelous. So the most surprising thing is that there's any Marigold inclusion at all. Marvelous have sent some people to Sendai Girls this year already. Senka's done a few shows. I think this is the first Marigold inclusion in Sendai Girls. I don't want to say ever because that sounds wrong and I didn't look it up. But in a long time, I don't think I've seen a Marigold wrestler do a Sendai Girls show. So that's the most surprising thing. In terms of the bracket, it's going to work out so that Rhea Seto probably doesn't face anyone from Stardom, so you don't have to have those political decisions to be made. I think Spike Nishimura is just going to win, or she might face Senka in the final, and maybe Senka wins. If Senka wins, she does have to beat Yuna, who's the current junior champion, and that could set up a future rematch. But yeah, I think it's between Spike, Yuna, or Senka, if I had to put money on it. I'm really looking forward to see the seed rookies. Well, Mirai Koga isn't really a rookie. She's over 1 year experience. Depends how you define a rookie. Yuki Funa is a rookie. She debuted in March of this year. She's only had like 5 matches, so it's kind of insane. So this tournament runs from the 1st of October. The second date is the 17th of October for the semi-finals, and then the finals are in Korakuen Hall on the 16th of November. So this will be like Yuki Funa's like 6th or 7th matches in her career. So I'm just really looking forward to this, and I fucking love that they're all in one tournament. And this is why I think Sendai Girls is one of the most important promotions in the scene, because they facilitate cross-promotional matches like this. The crowd also realized it, because apparently there were huge reactions for Ryo Seto and Senka Akatsuki. That's what Shupro said. I couldn't really hear it on the stream, but apparently the reporting there said that there were loud reactions for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, this is just fascinating. I just couldn't... I got my mind kind of blown when I saw these announcements for the participants. Before we even got to Marigold. This looks awesome. I'm really excited for it. Is this for the number 1 contendership or for the title directly?
I just assumed it was for number 1 contendership, but I actually don't know. So
okay. So you think Spike is winning? Is she like a coming up?
She just got signed by Sendai Girls. So she's a US indie wrestler. She's 26. She's been wrestling. I think she debuted in early 2023 or 2024. It's within the past few years, because I think that's one of the rules for the tournament. Because when they were flashing the names, they actually showed the debut date as well. So that's part of the reasons. But the fact she signed on the last show, they announced it as Ebi Arena in August. That makes me think that, it's like a nice place on the card to start, because she can't go after Hashimoto after just joining. And so I think she's probably just going to have some feud with Yuna, and winning is a good way to do that. If she doesn't win, I think she's at least going to go far. I can't see anyone else from that top bracket that can... Like, Soy isn't going to beat her, so I think she's in a bracket with Soy. Yuka Satsuki, definitely not. She's not known enough for that. And I also don't think the seed... so Mirai Koga, I don't think is winning. Yuki Funa, I don't think is winning. Way too green. Miku Kanai could probably go pretty far. Actually, that's probably the other pick from that side of the bracket. Could I see Miku beating Spike Nishimura? Maybe. But I still think... I think if I had to bet on it, it would be Spike.
Okay. Depends on how hard Hotta is politicking.
Yeah, exactly. And, how much is she going to bully people backstage? We'll see.
But this... It just feels to me like Sendai Girls is like this own little world.
It's fucking awesome.
Ecosystem, where anything can happen. And... Yeah,
you wouldn't get this in any other promotion. That every promotion is okay sending wrestlers there. That is one of the main benefits of Sendai Girls and why it's awesome. I think it's like the main thing they do.
Absolutely. Right. My prediction would be, I don't even know. I didn't really think about who could think. I'm probably rooting. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense if you say that Spike just got signed and.
It'd be weird for her to lose after getting signed.
Yeah, that's true. Going like yesterday, before I knew that Spike was fully signed to Sendai Girls, I thought like either Senka or maybe Miku or one of the Stardom girls. But
are you looking at the bracket? You got the image in there.
I can't really read the bracket.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the kanji of all.
No. I've got it in the document, the agenda. I did the hard work for you, Tim. I translated it. I put it in a tournament bracket. It's all nice and pretty.
Oh, I didn't click that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But yeah, if you see, like Miku is up, so she's facing. Okay. Yeah, she's facing Emma in the first round, Senka. And then she has to face Senka, who's got a bye.
So so those are 3 of my favorites. That pretty much defeats everything I just said. Okay, I think Senka or Miku. Or Spike, I guess, would be my...
Yeah, I can see Miku beating Emma, and beating Senka is a bit of a stretch. Because Marvelous are pushing Senka. I don't think they'd send her here to lose to Miku, maybe? I mean, there is some connection between the Yumika Hotter office and Marvelous right through Suri. So, Suri works a lot in Marvelous. And I think Suri and Takumi train a lot. I just think Senko would probably go through on that. Yuna is obviously the junior champion, so Rhea Soto has to beat Sora Ayame in the first round. There's no way Ayame's winning that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Seto's just going to lose to Yuna. I'd be really surprised if Yuna loses in her first match in the tournament.
Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. How far do you think Rihanna's going to go? Do you think she beats Miria Koga?
That's an interesting question. Probably. Miria Koga's been feuding with Hate a lot in Seedling, so she's been getting beat by Natsuko Tora. Mm-hmm. So I think she can beat Rianne. I think she's at the level where she could beat Rianne. I don't really know how Stardom view Rianne if they care politically about her getting beat. I mean, considering that Yuna just beat her, I think Miria Koga could beat Rianne. Yeah, it could go either way. That's probably like a 60-40 for me.
All right. Anyway, I think we should move on. We are fucking wasting a lot of time today.
Yeah.
Right. We continue with the next match. It was the hardcore match. The Dash Chisako special, I guess. She teamed with Hiroyo Matsumoto this time to defeat Aja Kong and Ryo Mitsunami. When did Dash and Aja have a falling out?
I don't know.
They teamed last show. Now they're against each other. Nah, it's just it doesn't really matter.
No, they don't care about that.
I don't think they care. Anyway, so the first big thing for me was that there was no Ryu song. It was all Judas Priest because she made her entrance with Aja Kong. So this was one of the first Ryu matches in a while that I really enjoyed. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I'm kind of a Ryo Mitsunami hater. I've always been.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. I just don't like her energy, man. And her entrance song and her whole
That's
deal.
like the opposite. People like her because of her energy. It's a Tim thing to not like her because of the energy.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
She's too happy.
I also okay. For a long while, I also didn't like her because of the typical reasons to dislike older Joshi legends, because she just never put anyone over for a couple of years. She got a lot better with that, though. I think she put over Mio Bop Bop Momo Banana pretty strongly last year. Do I have that right in my memory?
In Oz Academy, I think. Oh.
Yeah. And so I'm at least warming up to her a little bit. She used to be on my Nanai level, to be honest. But I think she's she surprised me a lot in this match. I liked her performance a lot here. And in general, I thought this was another really fun hardcore match from Dash and Ko. Hiroyo Matsumoto looked awesome. They had the tire. They had Clark Connors.
They had
tire for some reason. I don't know if they robbed Clark Connors or
yeah.
what
I think
happened.
it's Tire-san. Yeah, he's cheating on Clark Connors.
It's crazy. I was also kind of surprised by the bumps Aja took in this match. She took that crazy bump into her own death trap of metal bins. Yeah, there was the crazy splash Dash always does from the ladder in the ring to the outside through a table, which looked rough. She just squashed Ryo completely with that. There was another big superplex from the ladder onto a couple of chairs, which looked crazy. It was immediately followed up by a leg drop. And yeah, all in all, just a bunch of crazy spots like it always is. I thought Ryo's head, when she got powerbombed through a table and her head bounced back so fucking awfully. I thought she was seriously, she might have easily gotten concussed from that if she gotten unlucky. I think she missed because that was on the outside too, and her head was so close from snapping right onto the cement basically. That was really scary to me. And then, I think Ryo took just every fucking move in this match and then got pinned. And that's never how I've seen Ryo before. And I appreciated that. What did you think?
I think this was the match I had the least thoughts on, actually. I just thought it was a fun party tag. And I thought there was some spots. I saw the Aja Kong trash can spot where she fell onto the bed of trash cans. She doesn't have to do bumps like that anymore, but props to her for doing that. I think there was like a nasty headbutt through the chair that Ryu Mizunami did on Osaka. So that's also one thing I noted. But other than that, I thought this was good, but I didn't really have any strong opinions on it.
All right. I thought the finish also looked pretty brutal. The frog splash onto chairs, onto Ryo. She just got squished on that one. Anyway, we can move on then to an absolutely incredible Sendai Girls World title match between Chihiro Hashimoto and Mika Iwata. 21 minutes and 16 seconds. Chihiro Hashimoto defeats Mika Iwata. And do you want to start on this one?
Sure. So, despite them being on the same roster for over 10 years, do you know how many times they fought over the world title?
I couldn't tell you, no.
The answer is 0. So they've not
That's
once.
Kind of what I thought from the question, but
yeah. That was a leading question, wasn't it? So for 10 years, no world title matches. Their last singles match was a long time ago. Hashimoto joined a few months after Iwata did in 2015, and Iwata spoke about. So this was in Shupro. She did an interview before this match, and Iwata spoke about how she was told an incredible wrestler was joining, so she got a bit worried. But when Hashimoto actually joined, they got in immediately. But Hashimoto started to overtake Iwata, and Iwata was stuck with different gimmicks and changing her name. But she mentioned that she never got jealous of Hashimoto. She admired her. They became a tag team, and they won the tag team belts together in 2018. And then they dropped them in 2019. And Iwata quit because she suffered a neck injury, and she was told she couldn't wrestle anymore. So she told Satomura she was quitting. And it was Hashimoto that actually stayed in contact with Iwata and kept Iwata sane. And then Iwata returned after a year, but she refused to tag with Hashimoto going forward because she wanted to go it alone. And so Iwata finished that interview saying, "This is the most like myself I've ever felt before." And that was an indication of how hard she would go. And I thought it actually played into the match perfectly with, how Iwata was kicking the shit out of Hashimoto. And the main thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to hand it over to you, the main thing I want to say is Hashimoto's selling, I think, made this match. I thought Hashimoto's selling was so good. She sold all of the kicks like death. The armbar over the rope, she sold that her arm was getting ripped off. And it just made me think, is Hashimoto one of the best sellers for a quote-unquote big wrestler? So those are my initial thoughts, and then I got a few more, but you go.
Right. I thought this was just from beginning to end, from the first second to the last, this was an absolute masterclass. I thought these are two absolute masters of pro wrestling. Just the crisp opening exchanges from the mat wrestling, from the stiff strikes and stiff kicks especially, to these insane I don't even know, these insane exchanges that I've never even seen before like that. And the drama in the match was unbelievable to me. The selling from both, but like you said, especially Hashimoto, the way she sold being almost knocked out, but scrambling in the ropes. And I don't know if I want to go through it move by move. I thought at the very start, they did this just insanely good just wrestling exchange, and Chihiro just whips out, what's it called? Wait,
cartwheel?
Yeah, the cartwheel spot. Cartwheel. Couldn't think of the word.
They were grappling, and then Hashimoto was dodging the kicks, and then she just cartwheels away, and then she just fucking launches at Iwata with a double leg takedown. That was so good.
That was so fucking incredible. Like the cartwheel didn't even look completely like unnecessary or extra. She legit dodged something away with a cartwheel and used that to turn it around on Iwata, and it looked so cool. It all looked so cool. And like there was one thing that really stood out to me was when like Hashimoto had Mika Iwata in this, what's that move called? In the torture rack, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like
the backbreaker. The Argentine backbreaker.
Yeah, the Argentine backbreaker. Yeah, exactly. The Argentine backbreaker, and like Iwata flipped out of it into a armbar. That looked just crazy. I don't know. I've never seen something like that before. And yeah, like the kick that basically knocked Hashimoto out was so crazy. And then
that spot was so smart.
Mm-hmm.
So normally when I hear like a knockout count, I think, oh, are they gonna do some weird stuff like a double knockout? Because you don't normally like hear the refs count when it's on the ground. And
yeah,
so for example, like Utami and Takumi, right? As soon as they did the first knockout down count, I was like, they're doing a double KO, and I was right. But here, it was all the whole purpose of it was to make Mika Iwata more credible. I don't think I've seen anyone do a better job making Iwata feel like a threat than Hashimoto did in this match. She gave her fucking everything to make Iwata feel like a super credible threat to her reign. And I agree when Iwata said this is the most Iwata she's ever felt. She fucking showed it in this match.
And one thing I also like noted down, like there was this long stretch when Iwata was basically dominating Hashimoto, right? But like just couldn't beat Hashimoto. Hashimoto always got the ropes, always like got back up somehow. And then you could really see after a while how like Iwata was more and more just like kind of exhausted and disheveled, and she sold them so well with like just her strikes looked less impactful, like still not bad, but you could really tell how her strikes just didn't have the power anymore that she used to have for the first half of the match.
And you know what?
And like all these little details, like it just hit for me perfectly.
I'm getting so fucking excited. Do you know what that led to, Tim? That was so after the knockout count, Iwata goes for, she tries to slap Hashimoto around the face, right?
Yeah, I mean that led to the big powerbomb, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like Iwata was like getting more tired, and I'm just gonna slap you around the face now if you're gonna get up from my knockout kicks, and it led to the best double leg takedown I think I've ever seen.
Oh, that one!
I fucking jumped out of my seat. Hashimoto just fucking, she lifts her up and drives her into the ground, MMA style. She goes into the full mount position and she starts beating the shit out of Iwata. That was my moment of the match. That was fucking sick.
That was so beast, yeah, absolutely. That was insane. You also had like did Hashimoto powerbomb her 3 times? Or 2 times?
I think after that, I think that's when the 20-minute call happened, because I remember that, because I was like, was that a 15-minute call? Because so much happened in the match that I couldn't believe 20 minutes had passed. But then she hit the last ride, which is one of her finishers. But Iwata kicks out of the last ride.
That was such a great kick out.
The crowd went fucking nuts. There were like loud Iwata chants. I was getting fucking goosebumps. And then that led to the shoot headbutt. And Iwata was like, Iwata knows what to do. She knows what to do to finish off Hashimoto. These last 2 minutes were fucking incredible.
Yes, absolutely. And they made me believe. They made me believe too. Like when Iwata kicked out of the powerbomb, I believed for a second that she might win. Like they really got me towards the end. And like I read like some opinions that maybe the finish was disappointing, but I didn't think so at all. Like I think I said this last week. I sometimes love these kind of out of nowhere finishes. Like Hashimoto pinned her after like a power slam, basically.
That's one. The reason why I love this finisher is because it's one of her 3 finishes, and she spoke about it in backstage comments afterwards. Because I think Hashimoto knew people would say that, but she says, "I've got 3 finishers. I've got the Buzz Sawyer. So the power slam is called Buzz Sawyer, and then I've got the last ride, And then I've got the Albright, so the Gary Albright suplex, which is like a German suplex, bridging German suplex. Yeah. She's got those 3. She said, I didn't even need the Albright to beat Iwata. So part of the story was that she just needed the Buzz Sawyer to kill Iwata, and that she still has more in the tank for Iwata.
I mean, it does also help that this was probably the sickest, greatest looking power slam I've ever seen.
It was sick. It was awesome.
It was so
I also wasn't expecting it as the finish, by the way, because I don't think she doesn't normally win with that finisher. It's normally the last ride or the German suplex. But that's kind of why it was cool. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. That was... And then right before that finish too, like Iwata did these sick like sliding kicks to like she held Hashimoto's hand and did like a sick sliding kick and then a running knee that looked so brutal too. Then out of nowhere comes this power slam counter. It was so sick. I don't know. I love it.
Oh, we're forgetting the driver, right? One of her finishers, the Ryon, I think it's called.
It's kind of Michinoku driver, right?
It's like a cutthroat Michinoku driver, where she just drops her almost on her head. I kind of also bit on that finish, because normally when she hits that, it's a finish. And I was like, oh, this could be it. But yeah, Hashimoto still kicked out. Yeah, really good last few minutes. This is one of my favorites. This is my second favorite Sendai Girls match of the whole year, behind Hashimoto and Satomura, but it's close to that one as well.
I actually think I like it better, honestly.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah. There was another spot where like Hashimoto ran, like she tried to do another takedown, I think, and Iwata like evaded her so smoothly and kicked her right in the face. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. This was like a really small little detail, but I lost my mind at like how smooth it was, and just overall, it was.
Iwata's a really fucking good wrestler. So.
She is, absolutely. Yeah, this is a match of the year contender for me. I love this match.
Awesome. What more can we say?
I don't know.
Watch this match. This match was fucking sick.
I'm seeing it got 8.6 on Cage Match. I would rate that higher.
Sendai Girls always gets underrated on Cage Match.
Okay.
They're always like 0.5 or maybe even 1 below where they should be. Some fans of some promotions are just harsher than others, right? Like NXT gets like 9s on random matches.
Oh, yeah. So we don't even have to talk about it.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Yeah.
I mean, I just saw earlier, like the Miyu Mizuki match was also really great. But it has like 0.55 higher than the Hush match. I wouldn't completely agree with that.
It's because TJPW gets overrated on Cage Match, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, do you have anything more on the Sendai Girls show?
No, I think it felt similar to the August one in that the undercard was okay, but it was more for the live crowd and people who hadn't like seen the promotion before and trying to draw them back in. And then the main event was excellent, and that's exactly what happened in August. The undercard was kind of whatever, and then Lena Cross, Vaney, and Team 200 KG had a sick main event in last year. So yeah.
All right. One last thing. The post match was kind of sweet, I thought, when they were all in the ring, and Mika was like in good spirits, I guess. She was smiling and hugging Hashimoto in the end. That was
it was cute.
Anyway, should we just fly through this Stardom show?
Yeah, I think we should.
Right. We watched this earlier today. Both of us, like, literally, I got finished with it right before recording. It is the Osaka. We didn't actually plan to cover any Stardom this week, but we heard that the show from yesterday was supposed to be excellent, so we both decided to watch it real quick. And it's not wrong. I thought it was great little house show. It was in Osaka, had an attendance of 862, which is basically 30% up from their previous record in the building, which was 661. So, I think the main things I would talk about is the opener, maybe. Quickly, maybe the Yuna vs. Poi match at the main event. What do you say? Or do you want to go match by match?
No, let's not do match by match.
All right. Yeah, we had a really fun little 10-man tag opener. It was a kind of a weird assortment of baby faces in Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura, Sayaka Kurara, Saori Anu, and then they put Azumi and B. Priestley with them, who are from 2 different factions. So they fought against Azusa Inaba, Momo Watanabe, Saya Kamitani, Natsuko Tora, and Ruaka, right? Ruaka was in there.
The reason for this was because Miyu Amasaki was sick. So originally it was Azumi and Miyu against Azusa and Sai Kamitani, and then that match basically got scrapped, and they got, I guess.
Oh yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
Of course, I knew that. Why didn't I note that down? Yeah, but good thing they did that, because this made for an incredible opening match. It was basically like we talked last week about these incredible trios matches Stardom has had all year. This was basically that on steroids, because it was 5 vs 5. And like it was the exact same formula of just like crazy action, like everyone was perfectly on time, and just a really great match to like preview the Azumi and Saya match as well. I thought it was good to see Ruaka back. Not that I'm the greatest Ruaka fan, but I was worried about her injury. I didn't know how bad it was, especially as the tag team champion. Didn't want to like vacate the belts or anything with the tag league coming up. That would suck. So yeah, she's back. And what are your thoughts?
I think this is the match you show someone if they ask you the question, what's Stardom like? What's the Stardom house style like? This is Stardom house style to a T. Is the perfect example. It's just non-stop action with a hot crowd. It's a type of match they do best, and very few. I'm thinking of Dragon Gate, maybe. There are a lot of Dragon Gate fans in Stardom, so that kind of makes sense. But maybe them and Dragon Gate have this same style of match or similar, and only those 2 promotions can do a match like this. So I thought it was awesome. I think Natsuko and Sayaka showed that their 5-star match wasn't just a fluke, and that they actually have good chemistry. Oh, yeah. So they had a great sequence with each other. And, okay, let me throw this at you, Tim. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I think Azumi has gotten so good that she's now underrated and going under the radar. So what I mean by that is people have become so desensitized to her skill and what she can do. It's almost like it's expected of her. So when she does do it, it's not as impressive, because it's like, oh, that's Azumi. That's just what she does. And it's almost like you start to view her as like a video game character, right? That, yeah, she could just ping around the ring and do all this crazy shit and never botch and do this day in, day out for years. But that is a crazy thing to do. That is not an easy thing. And she's one of the few people in the world that can do it at such a consistent level. So I basically think she's gotten too good. That people aren't respecting her enough about how good she is. She's legit one of the best workers in the world.
Absolutely. I think it's even worse than that. I think she's like so good that now you got a lot of like contrarians coming up saying Azumi actually sucks, and
yeah, exactly.
She can't do this, she can't do that, blah blah blah. And that's a worse effect to me than just underrating someone, I think. But I think that's always gonna happen with certain talents. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought she was amazing in this match.
Absolutely.
I think the best part of this match were Azusa and Azumi together. So yes. Azumi went for like the Azumi sushi, and then Azusa rolled through, and the crowd bought it as a finish, which I thought was amazing, because Azusa's not going to pin Azumi before a title match, but the crowd bit on that one hard. So one interesting thing is the original match was going to be Azumi, Miyu, Azusa, and Saya. So I wonder if they had some of those spots planned out in advance, considering like how smooth they were. That's always something I think about with these matches. But yeah, they were so good together.
I agree. Absolutely. In the end, Azumi got the win with a double foot stomp onto Azusa. I thought there was also... Sorry?
Go on.
I also... there was a period in that match where like Hate was basically 1v5 destroying Aya Sakura, which was... I mean, Aya sold really well. That's just everything I got on that, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we mentioned that the attendance was the best ever in the arena. I know we mentioned it was A62, but it was the best that they ever had. I think that the next closest number they had was 661 in 2022, and it's for like a Cinderella show. So yeah,
I did say that earlier.
Oh, okay, good.
Doesn't matter.
well, I like reminding people. That's how good Stardom are doing right now. There you go. You guys get it twice.
Yeah, absolutely. After the match, really quick, you had a really quick moment. I don't know if you saw that with Saori and Natsuko, which had me very excited. They just stared each other down for a second, because I really want Saori to go for the tag titles. Natsuko Tora is the tag title champion right now. So I thought that foreshadowed something. Anyway, we got a couple of another fun matches. We don't really need to go through match by match.
No, but Mei Sarah's back, and she was very over, so.
Yes. And she ate a pin immediately.
From fucking Waka
Tsukiyama. I couldn't believe it.
Waka. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Whatever. She was so ashamed. Did you see that? Mei, like, she said, face turned to the turnbuckle, just sat in the corner after she took that pin, like, just in shame. Oh my god. That was crazy. Another one. Sakiyami, Lady C was Kikyo, Emma, Yuria, Hime. Fun little match. We had Kyoka Kotatsu, Hina versus Rana and Tomoka. Little like four shooter kickboxer.
It was like a UWF match. Style fight between Tomoka and Kyoka.
Yeah, it was really cool. I wanna see a proper match between those two.
Yep.
Anyway, Shuri was back. She came back after this match to celebrate with her God's Eye companions. God's Eye is a huge fucking group now.
I realized that after this fucking promo. I was like, how the fuck are they? There's like 8 of them. I was like, what?
8 or 9, and I was like, holy shit. And I was trying to look it up afterwards, and I realized that they don't even have Kyoka Kotatsu on the Stardom homepage yet for some reason. I don't know if they don't like her or what the reason for that is. Because they got all of them on there. They got like Matoi and Ane and everyone in some group, but like Kyoka
is she not
Kotatsu,
signed?
I was thinking about that, but I thought she signed. But they even got that's the other thing, by the way. They even got like Itsuki Aoki and Rina Yamashita. And
then there's no reason for her not to be on there.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason. Anyway, little sidebar there. Okay, then we got intermission into Yuna vs. Poi. I thought it was cute that they were advertising the SRK show so hard throughout the entire show, when I think it's already sold out. But
yeah, it's actually Shinjuku faced, and it immediately sold out.
Yeah. Anyway, then we had a fun match between Yuna and Yuna Mitsumori and Natsupoi. They're both from the same stable. They're both Cosmic Angels facing each other, which is always a special little thing when that happens. And yeah, they really laid into each other. Natsupoi had some smack behind those elbows. Sarah was watching the match the entire time, so they're probably teasing a rematch with her and Yuna. I guess it's gonna be a freeway with Waka then. Not sure. Maybe since Yuna lost this one against Natsupoi, she's not gonna get it. I don't know. But yeah, Poi kinda like, yeah, she's just Natsupoi. She's just great. These kick combinations she did just basically brutalized Yuna at some point. And then she did her like fairy what's it called? The roll up thing to pin her in the end.
Right. Yeah, it was like does it have a name? I didn't know it has a specific name. It does.
They all have like some fairy names. I can look it up real quick. You talk about the match.
Yeah, the only thing I noted was Poi was taking some sick neck bumps in this match, like she does. So she almost got decapitated on a turnbuckle lariat.
Yes.
And I think that flash pin at the end would have looked insane if she pulled it off, but I think she kind of lost control a bit at the end.
It is called Fairy Blink, first of all. It is kind of a 50-50 move. Like, she only hits it like 50% of the time well, but when she hits it always looks fucking amazing. So,
yeah. Isn't it like a Mysterio run? Didn't Rey Mysterio do this move or something?
It's a very unique move for her. I think she's the only person doing that. It looks kind of insane. When it really hits, it looks like she's defying gravity for like 3 seconds or something. But yeah, it's very hard to do.
Yeah, so after the match, Yuna asked Poi what she was missing and why she still lost, and Poi was very cute and said, she wasn't missing anything. Like, her power and her speed are top tier, but it was maybe an issue with the mindset. The last so the Fairy Blink that Poi won with, Poi said that's all about heart, not technique. And then she touched Yuna's heart, which was very cute. And then Yuna said she was ready to take on Mei Seira, so she was very happy with the pep talk.
Yes, it was a very sweet, sentimental moment. Right.
All right. Well, what was not sentimental was the next match, which was Hate versus Stars, the trio's title. So Hate are the current trio champions, Fuku Def, Konami, and Rina against Hanan, Momokogo, and Saya Aida. So the main story here is that Rina and Hanan are sisters. The twins. I didn't make that out right. They are twins. I'm pretty sure they're twins. Right?
Who?
Hanan and Rina.
No, Rina and Hina are twins. Hanan is 2 years older than them.
Okay, yeah. I knew it was one of them. So, also, even though they're not twins, they had the best stretch of this match by far. They were great with each other, Hanan and Rina. I just wanted them to wrestle forever. I thought this match would have been a test of Hanan's leadership of Stars, and I actually think she passed. She's just a really good multi-person match wrestler. I think she's proven that now. Yeah, weird, right? Like, you've got Momokogo. Yeah, but why is the leader of Stars tapping out in the title? But when she just became the leader, I think they're just doing a story, right? Where maybe she's lost confidence and she has to rebuild Stars. But Momokogo is like, I don't think she was very good in this match. I don't know what you thought.
I thought she had one spot where was really surprising, where she did like a really clean double jump crossbody from the corner back into the ring. That's everything.
The problem.
That was surprisingly smooth and good looking what she did there for that one spot.
Well, she did a crossbody. That's enough for Tim. I think my problem with Momokogo is she literally got bodied by Rina in the promo leading up to this match. She said, the fact you're fighting for this title was the reason Suri doesn't like Stardom or talks bad about it. So she was trash talked to hell, and her response was to give the weakest forearms I think I've ever seen. Like, you really can't lay your forearms in, like, and yeah, I don't know.
No, she literally can't, I think. Yeah.
Hanan did Hanan did her disgusting backdrop suplex. I think that is the most dangerous backdrop suplex that exists.
Yeah, and it almost got the pin too. I was kind of for a second I thought, what the fuck? Title's changing again, but Rina kicked out at 2.9999.
Rina was fucking awesome in this match.
Rina was amazing, man.
She has so much confidence now.
Yeah, and she worked 80% of it, or 85%. She was in there forever, man. Yeah. First with wait, where do I have it?
Well, she was with Momo.
Yeah, she was with Momo for a while, and she was with Hanan forever.
I mean, sorry, Hanan, yeah.
Yeah, there were 2 little spots from Fukigen at some point. And there were a couple spots with Konami and the finishing stretch as well, but everything else basically was all Rina's work. And that was damn impressive. She's so good now. And
then Konami tapped out Hanan. Yeah.
No.
What?
that was actually when Fukigen pulled the ref out, right?
Yeah. The ref
didn't
got
even
pulled
kick
out
out
on
of that suplex.
No. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I didn't correct you. Yeah, the ref got pulled out on that backdrop suplex.
Yeah, that's when I thought it was over. Yeah, that was.
I just didn't want to disagree with you, Tim. I just didn't want to disagree with you.
We just want no confrontation.
Yeah.
No, but for a sec, I was already like making up arguments in my head for why they would change the titles again. Because on one hand, I also do find it brutal for Rina to do this promo to Momo and then beat her, but she didn't really beat Momo, so
yeah.
And I kind of like the Hanan tapping thing. Well, first of all, like in the last match, also Starlight Kid tapped, right? That's also the kind of the strongest member of that unit. And first of all, I like how strong it makes Konami look, always tapping out like the strongest member of each
Absolutely,
team.
Yeah.
And also, it's kind of like, yeah, she's the leader, she's taking the responsibility, and when she taps, then like. It's kind of like the ultimate defeat for this team, I guess. If you just tap out Momokogo, if you just pin Momokogo, that's kind of like, yeah, whatever. That's just like such a protected finish, and I always like when finishes are not overly protective and are just clear cut. The leader of this team got beat, and that's it.
Yeah, I can definitely. Yeah, to be clear, I only don't like it if they're not going to make a story out of it, right? If it's going to be a story, I have no problem with the tap out.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, Hanan is still like struggling with building this. That was kind of the story going into, right, from Hanan's promo, that she's still struggling as the new leader.
Exactly.
She underestimated how hard it is to lead a faction, and yeah, now she had to tap.
One thing about it as well is, like, in the post match, Hanan's on the floor and she tries to grab the mic, and then Hate just beat her up, and Konami says, "Hey, losers don't get to talk." So Hanan kind of got geeked out there, but she's getting choked out and then told to fuck off basically by Konami. Konami is actually so funny once you read the transcripts. Like, after beating Hanan up, she just goes, "Man, sisters, they're so great, aren't they? Right, Fukugen?" And then Fukugen just replies with, "There." It's just so funny. Yeah. It's like they've got their own. It's like Team Rocket, right? And Fukugen's just like the Pokemon, like Meowth or whatever. Yeah, I'm really getting into this trio, I guess. And Konami said that they're the new three sisters who will defend the artist belts, and Rina doesn't need any other sisters. And Rina was like, "Good, never needed those trash big sisters anyway."
That's amazing. I unfortunately, like, right when the match was over, I went into the Discord to talk to you, so I skipped the post-match. Unfortunately, didn't have the time. But
now you're up to date.
Sounds great. Thank you for filling me in. Yeah. Right. So, moving on. We are in the indie zone.
Is it that time already?
I mean, we're way past the time already, I think.
It's 2 hours and a half into the podcast. Yes, it's that time. All right, I will keep this brief.
Right.
So,
I won't interrupt you much.
Technically not an indie, but it was just like a lower level show, so we're just going to speed through it. The Marigold show on the 25th of September. There were two matches on this show, which I really enjoyed. So in the semi-main event, Mai Sakurai and Miko Onu versus Mirai and Utami Hayashishita. So it was a preview tag for Sumo Hall. It was a time limit draw, 15 minutes. Miku and Utami. So on the 5th of July, they had a sick tag that no one talks about. It was Miku's homecoming, and they just went hard, lariating the fuck out of each other. There was some super loud lariats in that match. So as soon as Miku won the Dreamstar, I was like, I cannot wait to see some preview tags. Because Utami, for some reason, does her best work in the preview tags. I don't know why, but she really likes going hard in those tags, and it was the same here. They just lariated the shit out of each other. When a lariat is loud, you know a match is good. So I really enjoyed that. And then in the main event, it was Komomo Minami and Mayu Iwatani versus Seri Yamaoka and Victoria Yuzuki. This is a match that Hatman booked just for me. 3 young wrestlers and Mayu, and it's the 3 young wrestlers who I think are really starting to stand out, not just in Marigold, but in the scene. I mean, the fact that this main evented over Mai, Miku, Mirai, and Utami should tell you everything you need to know. Like, Hatman is going all in with these 3. So that's good shit from Hatman. I like that. This match itself was fucking awesome. They went really hard at each other. I think Komomo is almost at the same level as Seri, if not equal. And I think more people probably need to be talking about Komomo Minami and the leap she's made. Maybe people haven't been watching her matches because she's on the undercard more, but she is very good. Yuzuki continued to impress with some amazing selling. She did one of those sells for a DDT where you get spiked on your head and you flip forward. Always love that sell for a DDT. Mayu continues to bring out the best in Seri. They traded a bunch of German suplexes. This match was hard-hitting. It was a window into Marigold's future. Great main event. And they're the type of matches that make me excited for the future. Then after the match, Mayu Iwatani and Seri Yamaoka was booked for the Superfly title at Korakuen Hall on the 13th of October. Seri specifically said she had an opponent in mind for Sumo Hall, which is why they didn't want to do it at Sumo Hall. I think all she's saying is maybe Mayu is booked for Sumo Hall, so they're not going to be able to do it there. But anyway, it's at Korakuen Hall. It was later announced that Komomo had a eye injury during that match, so she was going to miss the next few shows. So that's Marigold on the 20th.
Yeah, I watched the show. I don't have many thoughts. I thought, like, honestly, the tag match with Utami and Mirai, I had higher hopes for. I thought it was a bit lamer than I expected, honestly.
For sure. I only liked those interactions between Miku and
yeah,
and Utami.
And yeah, I thought the main event was very good. I thought Mayu is just so fucking good. It's crazy. One thing I was surprised by from the undercard, like, I don't see Hummingbird very much. She looked fucking ripped. Has she always been this ripped?
Who looked ripped, sorry?
Hummingbird.
Oh, yeah. She is, she does look ripped. I normally skip her matches, so I can't tell you either.
Yeah, she spends a lot of time in the gym, I think. I don't know.
I had no idea if she's gotten better, but I guess I'll find out someday if she's against Mayu or something. Then I can't skip that match.
She was definitely better here than the last time I saw her, but that was a disaster. So
the problem is she's normally on the undercard with fucking Megaton, so I can't watch the match because it's Megaton. But if she's against like Seri or whatever, I'll watch it.
Right. Other than that, yeah. Oh, I actually wrote this down. Yeah, that I like Komomo a lot. I wrote down that she reminds me of Sayaka Kurara, like laudatory.
Yeah, she's
complimentary.
If I try to compare them, she's probably a more aggressive Sayaka. Like, she has a bit more of a fire in her, a bit more heelish, I guess. But yeah, that's a pretty good comparison. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I also think she's
Sayaka. Sorry. I was just thinking about, like, one thing I forgot in the Stardom show. Did you see that assisted Tokimeki Spear? That was so awesome in the opening.
Oh yeah, anyway. Yeah, that was yeah.
No, anyway, what did you want to say?
I was just gonna say I think Komomo's slightly better in ring than Sayaka.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's
something about her reminded me of her. I can't really say.
Well, it's probably the gear, right?
Maybe it was just the gear. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if I say someone reminds me of Sayaka complimentary, then I probably think that she sold really well and made a good connection to the crowd.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
All right.
The other 3 shows I unfortunately didn't watch, so that's gonna be an Eric special.
Don't worry, just stop me if anything sounds interesting. It probably won't. So first, Marvelous. So it was a 21st September. It was a rare 5-match card. You could say it was 4 if you ignore the comedy match with Yosuke Santa Maria and Jaya Jewel, who's from West Coast Pro Wrestling. I think these two have been in matches 5 times with each other since July. I think 100% of Jaya's matches have involved Yosuke Santa Maria, so yes. The awesome Ayame Sesamura, my SLG, was on the card against Sora Ayame. So that was like the Battle of Ayames. Sora is doing a new gimmick where she's like kicking people in the ankle. So that's the new thing she's trying to get over. It's like, I think Rianne should take that move. It's such a twerp move to kick someone in the ankle and then try to roll them up. But yeah, that's what Ayame is doing. Ai Huzan is still heating up, trying to catch up to Senka. That's the storyline they're telling. She was in a singles match against Maria. Maria's gimmick is far past its due date. The reason Rico gets away with it is because Rico works much harder than Maria in almost every match. Maria just has too much fun with her heel gimmick, and she doesn't work in her matches. And I thought this was kind of a mid-match when it's supposed to be a good match between Maria and Ai Huzan. If Maria was babyface, it definitely would have been a better match. In the semi-main event, it was Miyu Momono and Valentina Rossi against Spark Rush, which is Suri and Takumi Iroha. Valentina Rossi is an NWA wrestler on tour. She's very, very green. She's had like 60 matches, I think, so she has less matches than most rookies. This was Mio's first time wrestling Suri since January 2024, and it was Takumi's first time wrestling Mio since Mio's return from injury. This match was basically just a big tease ahead of a potential Bob Bob Momo Banana and Spark Rush match. I think Takumi said we'll defend against Bob Bob Momo Banana whenever, so that's probably going to be a match coming up soon, which will be amazing, especially if it's in Marvelous and given like a main event spot. That would be very good. So not much else happened in the match because it was more of a tease, so it was more of a preview really. The main event was Senka and Itsuki Aoki versus Magenta, which is Chikaya, Nagashima, and Rico, and Miria is the third member. So one thing is, if you'll notice, like if Takumi or Mio is not in the main event, it's normally Senka. Luckily, Senka's in Marvelous, which is a company with a low footprint, so the pressure on Senka isn't that much. And I said it last episode, Senka needs space to grow. So, Tim, I need to talk to you about Rico. All right. How much Rico have you watched this year?
Can't say I've watched too much. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay. I need to get something off my chest. Okay. So I kind of said it already, but Maria is not the same as Rico. And I think people group Magenta together too much. So you'll see comments like, oh, Magenta heel Magenta isn't working and they should turn back babyface. Heel Rico is really good. Rico works super hard. She's really good. She turns it on more often than Maria. I think Rico hasn't been as strong in Marigold, which is why maybe people have that perception. But heel Rico does go hard in Marvelous. And she was the MVP of this match.
So did you always prefer Rico then?
Probably, yes.
When you say they aren't the same, because I always thought like Maria was better.
I'm speaking specifically of the Hill Run.
Yeah, so, yeah. I haven't been following the Hill Run at all. That's my thing.
So now for sure I prefer Rico, but before it was probably equal for me.
Okay.
So yeah, Rico was the MVP of this match. She and Itsuki Aoki beat the shit out of each other. There was some super loud forearms in this match. It was very, very good. There was an insane forearm exchange, the ones that make your chest hurt because of the thudding sound. I barely even noticed Senka, by the way, who was in this match because of how good those two were. After the match, Senka closed out the show with Aoki helping her out, which was super cute. I think it was Senka's first time closing out the show. Itsuki is amazing. She's so good. I wish Stardom used her more. She's a really good promo, but she obviously never cuts promos really in Stardom. But she's busy with her own promotion in Shimane Prefecture. And she's too busy getting bookings around the scene, so that's why Stardom don't use her regularly. But she was amazing here. She's like whispering in Senka's ear, like what to say, how to close out the show. So really good stuff. They also debuted. So this is the news part. They debuted 2 new trainees. So Kaya Nishimura, who's 16, and Mihiro Namatame, who's 18. And their protests, as in test to become a professional, is in November. So 2 new rookies potentially by the end of the year for Marvelous. So we'll see how that shapes out. That's Marvelous. All right.
Awesome.
I'm going to speed through Seed and Ice Ribbon. So Seed.
Let's do it.
Seedling. This was the 19th of September. I like this show as it had 3 really good matches with the younger talent. So the opener was Ayame Sasamura and Miku Kanai versus Itsuki Aoki and Yuki Funa. This match was basically Sasamura and Aoki, who were the tag team champions, but they lost to Miya Shirai and fucking Natsu Sumire. And this was basically them letting out some frustrations. Sasamura pinned Yuki Funa, one of the rookies. This was Yuki Funa's 4th match. It's still way too early. She had some hiccups in this match. She hesitates before forward rolls, that sort of thing. She needs some more drills in her fundamentals. It was also funny because she did Senka shoot pin on Sasamura. So I know it's not like Senku's in particular, it's just easier to describe that way. But this is becoming like an interesting trend where we're seeing more people like use that side smothering pin, the flash pin. So Miria Kogo also did it in the same show. So that was interesting. Then we also had Celine Mizora, another rookie, against Vayne. This was fucking awesome. Celine is one of those rookies that's quite combative. She's one of those fiery rookies. Like, she has like a never say die attitude. So I was sort of like wondering how this would go. And I don't know why I was wondering, because it went exactly as expected. She started getting shrugged off by Vayne. Then she landed a double leg takedown on Vayne, and the whole crowd popped, and it was awesome. There were some really good interactions in this match, and I think Celine Mizora is quite promising. And Vayne won with an elbow knockout. That's an awesome finisher on a rookie, right? You just knock them out, with the side of your elbow. So I really love that match. Then it was Hiroyu Matsumoto and Miura Koga versus Honori Hana and Unagi Sayaka. This was basically just Miura Koga and Honori Hana picking up from the August Korakuen Hall show. Again, in this promotion, there's a lot of feuding between the youngsters, who's going to be the first star, basically. So there's sort of like a race to the top. So Matsumoto was helping Koga out, and Sayaka's been helping Honori Hana. So Miura pinned Honori Hana, which should lead to a fun singles match, because that was like a surprise win for Miura Koga. And then the main event, Natsu and Miya Shirai defended the tag team titles against the Luchadors, Kakadita and Lapidita, which is Kakeru Sakaguchi and Kaho Kobayashi. I mean, they retained. Kaho Kobayashi was really good, but Natsu sucks, so what can I say?
I would have probably skipped that match.
Yeah, have you seen a lot of Kaho Kobayashi? She doesn't actually do a lot of Stardom. Well, she doesn't do any Stardom Marigold, so she's not in the big promotions. She doesn't even do Sendai Girls. So
I can only say that I have similar feelings to at least her in her lucha gimmick. I have similar feelings for the luchadoras that I have for Ryo Mitsunami. That it's just the wrong. It's the wrong kind of party energy for me that I just can't stand. It's just too much.
It's too happy for Tim. Yeah,
it really is. I'm sorry. So
You're so German. I love it.
I can't stand the luchadoras, and I actually like Natsu as like.
But you like Natsu? So the luchadors are too much. Ryu Mizunami's too much. But Natsu Sumire, give me some of that.
Let me finish. I don't like Natsu as a wrestler. I like Natsu as like a person. I watched like she did an interview once, like half hour, 45 minutes, I don't know. It's like, I think she took a break for a while, or like she actually retired and then started again. I don't know. And she like I watched some long interview with her once, and she's like a really likable person. So that's cool. The way I like her. But like as an in wrestler, I can't do with it anything with her either. So yeah.
Excellent. Cool. Yeah, that was Seedling.
Awesome.
So Ice Ribbon. So I'm only going to talk about the main event. So The main event was for the International Ribbon Tag Team title. The challengers were Vicky, which is Manami Katsu and Misa Kagura, against Bad Butts, which is Ancham and Yappy, who were the champions. Okay. All right. Hang on. I need a breath here. Okay.
Take it.
So I'm a big Vicky fan. Okay, I love the storyline between Manami Katsu and Misa Kagura. It was awesome. How they got together was really cool. It's the best thing Ice Ribbon have done all year. This match was overbooked insanity. I could not believe what I was watching. When I saw these four on paper, I did not think I would get this match. So Bad Butts are sort of like Ice Ribbon's hate faction, I guess, but they're way more comedy. I've seen them wrestle cleanly before in a big match. So I just assumed they would wrestle cleanly because there's a big match on a pay-per-view. They're in Tokyo Square. Instead, what I got was bloodline rules, but worse. And it wasn't even a DQ match. So I don't normally complain about weapons and interferences from heels if it's limited. This was fucking crazy. So some spots in here, I guess. Yappy grabbed a chain and started pummeling Misa Kagura with it right in front of Manami Katsu, who was confused at what to do. So she ran out of the ring to check on the ref because there was a ref bump, instead of getting Yappy off her tag team partner. So she just let Yappy wail on Kagura with a chain. I was like, hello? Do you want to hit Yappy off? She's beating your friend to death. And then Katsu brings the referee back in. She pushes the referee out of the way, give Yappy a sliding lariat. Okay, fine. Then Ancham came in with the Bad Butts metal sign, hit both over the head, right in front of the fucking referee. Like, his eye sockets were locked right on the weapons, and he did nothing. And then Kreia, who's not even in the match, another Bad Butts member, she ran into the ring, delivering sliding boots. Again in front of the referee, it's not no DQ, and he was just watching it all happen. And then Yappy got Kagura up on her shoulders so Ancham could do a bulldog, which is one of her moves. But Yappy forgot to drop Kagura. So then Yappy was just standing there with Kagura on her shoulders and Ancham was just looking at them. Like, why didn't you drop? And Ancham was just in shock, and then she just repeated the move. And then it became a handicap match. I'm not shitting you, by the way, guys. This is actually how it happened. And then it became sort of like a handicap match because Kreia and Katsu were trading blows. And then Katsu German suplex Kreia. This was the best part of the match. Of course, Minami Katsu was the best part of this match, by the way, guys. And then Vicky hits a diving double foot stomp and a diving senton for the win, capturing the International Ribbon Tag Team Championship. This match was fucking insane. Derogatory.
All right, so I didn't miss too much. It kind of sounds like the kind of match that I do want to watch just for like the.
I just couldn't believe it because like these are like okay. I don't care about Yappy, but the other three are some of my favorite wrestlers. So I was like, it was just like no chemistry whatsoever, and I don't know why they booked the match. Like, the referees need to do better to not look at weapons being used, right? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
that was it for the Indie Zone with Eric. We have our little match of the week segment next. There were a lot of great matches all over the world this weekend. Of course, there was the much lauded MJF vs Mystico match on Friday. There was All Out on Saturday with like a fantastic Hangman vs Kyle Fletcher match, a fantastic freeway between Okada, Takeshita, and Mascara Dorada. Even the Mercedes vs Rio match was excellent. What did you think? Do you have any match of the week that we haven't talked about in this episode?
No, so I guess I didn't really think about Mystico MJF, but based on how I felt about it, that probably is my match of the week. If it's just Joshi, then it would be obviously Miyu Watanabe and Mizuki. I think I prefer that slightly to Hashimoto and Iwata, or sort of on the same level for me.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about this, like all the excellent matches from the weekend. I did think Mystico and MJF were great. I'm still kind of a low man on that because it just isn't my de facto match of the year like it is for a lot of people apparently. And I just simply have to say my match of the week is Mika Iwata versus Chihiro Hashimoto.
Yeah.
I thought that was like in the ring it wasn't even comparable to MJF and Mystico, I think. And even like the drama, I mean Mystico and MJF lived off the drama, right? The big blade job, the fucking crowd. The Sendai Girls show didn't have that.
Yeah.
But even then, the drama in the match they built just through like these fucking insane knockout spots and stuff was still there for me on a similar level. And just given that the in-ring work was so amazingly excellent, it beats out Mystico and MJF for me. And the Hangman match, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I guess my other runner-up it was the Magenta versus Itsuki Aoki and Senka match from Marvelous. So that was my other runner-up.
Awesome. We got a couple of previews here for the next week then. Do you want to take the lead here?
Yes, so on the 27th of September, we got Stardom at Korakuen Hall.
Let's go.
There's the title versus title match, Azumi versus Sai Kamitani, the World of Stardom title, and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. So I'm thinking Saya just wins that one and becomes a double champion because she's making a big push to become MVP. So one of the things that happened in the past week is she was on a huge TV show in Japan. She was in it in February as well, and it's sort of like what launched her popularity in the mainstream there, where she basically runs a bunch of, I think it's like 300-meter races. She didn't make the final this time, but it did happen again this week, and I think the title is another push for her to get that MVP now that Azawa is out, who was the other front runner. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on that match?
I was thinking, since they have barely anything else announced, I think like my little time limit draw trigger went off in my head too.
Ooh.
I don't know what the time limit draw would be for those. If it is 60 minutes, then I don't think it's gonna happen. But if it's 30 for the red belt, I'm not quite sure what it is. I think for the IWT it is 60. I think for the red belt it's 30 usually.
What would happen? Just both keep their titles?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
I think they don't care about Azumi's title. They're just going to beat her, no?
I do think your theory is stronger, that they want Saya to hold 2 or 3 titles by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. But I wouldn't be surprised if it actually goes to a draw. So
yeah, that's a possibility I didn't think about. Then
Azumi winning is like 0.01% or something.
I think I have it even lower than... There's no way... Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. It's not even happening. Then we have the future title, which is Hina defending against Hanako. Hina is just shooting up my favorites rankings so fast, it's unbelievable. Her current character is awesome. So I'm really looking forward to them beating the shit out of each other, hopefully. Hopefully Hanako works a bit stiff. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, should be great. I wonder... I'm a bit... I wonder how well Hanako is going to do. I think she looked good today. But her performances have always been like kind of 50-50, kind of shaky sometimes good.
Yeah, what's her best match? Starlight Kid, right?
Starlight Kid, yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Anyway, we should maybe also mention that it's already completely sold out. So if you're in Japan right now, I'm sorry for you if you don't have tickets yet. Like they can't even sell any walk-up tickets anymore. It's that level of sold out. So
yeah, Azumi and Saya is a draw.
Right.
And there's no other matches as of now, unless it was released during this episode. So that's it.
Which
for now.
also speaks to them being a draw.
Yes,
like exactly. A 2-match card, just completely selling everything out is crazy. But yeah.
I think it's the 4th sellout like that this year. I think I saw the first one was Saya Suzuki. Second one was Saya Tam, the loser leaves match, and then the third one was the 20th of August 5-star.
Yes.
Cool. And then on the 27th of September, we have TJPW in Shinkiba. This is basically Haruna Neko's graduation. So if you really like Haruna Neko, like it's Tim's favorite wrestler. Tim has posters of Haruna Neko in his bedroom, so I'm sure he'll be glued to the screen for this show.
I check it out, I think, for sure. I do like Haruna Neko. I said this before.
Yeah. Haruna Neko, Pom Harajuku. Yeah. Right.
What can I say?
Then on the 27th and 28th of September, we have Sendai Shinkiba first ring shows. So on the 27th, I wouldn't say all of the matches. So Lena Cross and Vaney against Dash Chisako and Rain Leverkusen. Mika Iwata versus Spike Nishimura. And then the main event is Chihiro Hashimoto and Yu, Team 200kg, against Minami and Ryu Mizunami. And then on 28th, so the 28th is the live show, I believe. 27th is going to be a VOD. So on the 28th, there's Chi-Chi and Yuna versus Miku Kanai and Yura Suzuki. Chash Chisako versus Shin Sakura Hirota. Okay. Chihiro Hashimoto and Yu versus Rain Leverkusen and Spike Nishimura. Minami versus Yurika Oka. And then in the main event, which is, I think, the best match out of both shows, is Lena Cross and Vaney against Red Energy, Mika Iwata and Miyuki Takase. That should be a really good match.
That sounds awesome. That opener sounds awesome, too.
Chi-Chi and Yuna versus Miku and Yura Suzuki, yeah. Yura Suzuki.
I mean, Chi-Chi and Miku is I like it, but
yeah, they're your SLGs, yeah. So Yura Suzuki is really good. Well, I started thinking she was really good is a strong word. I think she's getting better and better. I saw her like in the Wave tournament, and I think she had some really good matches. So I start to look forward to see her matches more and more. She's got some great kicks, so and some great submission holds. So yeah, that should be a really good match.
Awesome.
Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to mention was Kyushu Pro. I know it's kind of like very niche, but they're on YouTube and they might upload it, so I wanted to mention it. But they have Suri versus Nori. So that is a really good match if it makes tape. Nori
sounds incredible, yeah.
Yeah, so Nori is part of LLPW, so we haven't had time to do an LLPW primer. Maybe next episode or whenever we don't have a lot of topics. She's basically their talisman. She's their main star. They have a monthly residence now at Kanda Miyajin Hall, and she's in every main event. So she's main evented against Ryu Mizunami, Nanae Takahashi before the retirement, and the most recent one was Mika Iwata, which was a really good match. She's a former MMA fighter. She started her career in Ice Ribbon. Before quitting, she quit Ice Ribbon with her MMA friends. She did a few more MMA fights, and now she's come back to wrestling in LPW to try once again. You guys might know her from Marigold's 2024 Dreamstar Grand Prix. Awesome kicks, as you can imagine with an MMA fighter. She has a good look. She's still improving, but all of her matches are like at least really good, but they don't hit the next level yet. So basically she's someone with a very high floor where you will not see her have a bad match, but she's still learning how to unlock that holy shit match of the year contender type of match. So I'm hoping it comes as she keeps main eventing these shows, and her going against Suri is one of the best ways to try and improve and get better. I hope she just doesn't sell for like 10 minutes, which is a risk with this type of match, but we'll see. And hopefully they upload it to YouTube as well, because this might not even make tape, depending on what Kyushu Pro decide to do.
Yeah, I know her from Marigold as well, and I thought she looked fucking sick. Always wanted to see more of her, so yeah, I hope that makes tape. Do they call her Nori? Okay.
Yes, Nori, yeah.
Because she has like the Norwegian O, right?
How do you pronounce the Norwegian O?
I think it's more like Ö. Like in Germany you have the O with the 2 dots above it, which you pronounce Ö statt O.
Yeah, there's no way they're doing that.
I think it's the same deal with the Norwegian one, so it would be like Nuri, but I don't think they care about that.
No, I think
it's just for style reasons.
Yeah, it's like when you're playing games as a kid and you want your username to look good, yeah. So you just like use Cyrillic characters and stuff. Yeah, that's what they do.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Eric, I think I got some bad news for you.
What's the bad news, Tim?
I think we didn't quite hit our 2-hour limit this week.
Fuck! Hey, we were under 3 hours though. That is not bad.
Unless we're babbling now for another 8 minutes, but...
Oh no, we wouldn't do that, would we?
No. I think another great episode of Joshi'ing Around Weekly. Thank you so much for co-hosting with me again. Check out the Social Suplex newsletter, everyone. It should be maybe on the weekend a new issue.
Yeah, probably this weekend or next week, I imagine.
Probably, yeah. Early next week or this weekend.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right.
Well, thank you, Tim. And Natsu Sumire sucks. Thank you very much.
Awesome. If you say so. She's a nice person, man. We should go to a bar when we're in Japan. We should try to get in there.
Oh, she has a bar?
Yeah. It's called Mantra. I wanted to get there last year, but it never quite worked out.
You know what? We'll do that. Maybe she'll change my mind.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Then see you next week.
Bye.